Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're good, hope you're well. My name's Steve Woody. This is the Undisputed Noob channel. Today we're going to be playing some Axie Crypto. We're going to be talking about health and well-being. We're going to be joined today by the beautiful Shayla. And we're going to see how the song's doing. Let's go! Beautiful people, how you doing today? Hope you're good, hope you're well, hope you are having a good Monday so far. I'm just bringing up the chat because I had to restart it, so just give me like 10 seconds to pop the chat box back up on the screen. And whilst I do that, welcome to the show. Hope you're good, hope you're well. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. For me, it was nice. I got to relax, I got to do some of the housework, I got to check in on some people, but also, when I was having a bit of time off, I decided to work. And I don't know if you've ever done this. I don't know if you've ever done work when you didn't need to, like when it's the weekend or when it's time off. And you just seem to be, for whatever reason, so much more productive. Like so much more productive. So I kind of built an entire CRM system for the whole Axie Scholar UK at the weekend. We imported all of the applications. I can tell you right now, just by looking at, there's over 2,200 applications now. All of the scholars, all of the Axies that we have, payroll, everything all set up, all ready to go. Great system, all in place, and very, very, very excited to be able to share that with you. Now, I'm not going to do that today, and the reason I'm not going to share that with you today is because I've got to be careful what I share. And what I mean by that is that obviously there's personal information in here. There's contact details, there's people's names. I don't want to dox anybody. I don't want anybody to show up on stream unless they've given consent or permission.
Red Emberlier sent 10 stars.
I'm going to
share the stream, guys.
I will share some stuff, but the stuff that I share, I want to just ensure that when we do it, it's done in a way that doesn't share sensitive information, which I think you'll agree, is respectful to people, and I want to make sure we do that. Brad, thank you very much for the 10 stars. Very grateful. Appreciate you. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and I've already posted a couple of screenshots within the community, so we'll do that on maybe the next stream. We'll talk about that, but it's all set up, it's ready to go, looks incredible, so cool, so cool. So the CRM system, amazing. What that's allowed us to do is it's allowed us to just change our processes slightly. It's allowed us to automate some things, it's allowed us to work a lot quicker, so we're able to onboard people quicker now. So what happened also at the weekend is I got a message on social media from a friend, actually, somebody I know, and they said, I want to be a sponsor. I want to sponsor one of your scholars. I've seen what you're doing. It looks incredible. I want to sponsor a scholar. How do we do it? And so and they knew the process. We talked about it, and I said, okay, all good. If you want to sponsor, let's go. And they said, okay. They transferred. So I went onto the marketplace, and we have a new little tool, which I don't know if I want to share it with you. We've got a little tool which I'm quite tempted to just keep hidden right now. And the reason for that is because we're using this tool and it's effective. And I worry that if I share it, it's going to allow other people to copy. And then we're going to lose that advantage. And I'm a little bit unsure whether I should share something that's given me an advantage or whether I should keep it quiet and just use that advantage right now. Because the advantage is allowing me to help more scholars. So I'm in a bit of it's a difficult one. But it was Coach Cody, we had a chat, he told me he gave me this incredible little insight, which I never even thought about. And it's changed. It's changed so much for me. Just this one little tip. It's just so powerful. But yeah, I think it's something that I'd like to share. I really would like to share it, but I like the idea that we're using it at the moment to our advantage. It's nothing wrong, nothing untoward. It's perfectly fine. It's just when you hear it or when you see it even, you go, oh, wow. Oh, well, that's so much easier. It's just a really, really obvious once you've done it thing that anyone can do. And when you do it, it allows you to really, it allows you to effectively pick up good deals on Axies in the marketplace. And so we did this yesterday, and we did it on Saturday, and there was an Axie that should have cost us, it should have cost us 0.2 ETH. That is the average cost of the Axie that I was trying to buy, 0.2 ETH. And I used this, let's just say, this system, this website, this process that Cody shared, and I managed to find the exact Axie that I was looking for 0.14 ETH. So I managed to save 0.06 ETH, and it was as simple as just clicking one button. And so it was so good, so good. So this is what we're using now, what we're doing, and it's allowing us to pick up really good deals on Axies. So that's exciting. So we've got the CRM, we've got that, it's really good. And so what happened is the sponsor said, look, okay, how much do I have to sponsor? How much do I have to invest or loan? And I said, let me check the price. So we went on, checked the price, and I said, it's going to cost this. And we managed to pick up the team. I can tell you right now, because this is so cool. And when I tell you what we've done with this, you'll be like, wow. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Because I've got it all documented here. Okay, so we managed to pick up this team for 0.52 Ether. 0.52 Ether. I mean, that's a pretty good price, right? We got our front line for $490. We got our midline for $600. No, sorry, I apologize. Hold on, no, we didn't. It was cheaper than that. Yep, $491 for our front line, $602 for our midline, and $583 for our back line. That's about $1,500. And we were able to pick up a team that right now is being used to smash the 2K MMR bracket. And I'm not even saying it's just like tickling. I mean, I made a mistake by suggesting Super Scholars only had to reach 2K. Turns out that's quite easy for our guys. Our Super Scholars are like, yeah, 2K, pff, not a problem. Give me a better challenge. Like, they're pushing for 2.5 now. Some of our scholars are pushing for 2.5K. Some of them are on 2.2. We're going to check this out in a minute. We're going to have a look. So I'm going to hide the secret. I'm not going to share the secret. That's our little secret. Coach Cody's absolute bombs of knowledge that he's dropping on us. What we are going to do, we are going to share, just before I do this, I'm going to refresh this screen. Okay, so here we go. Let's share this screen, shall we? First thing I want to look at today. Let's talk about Felix, shall we? Let's talk about Felix for a moment. And before we do this, by the way, hello. Good afternoon. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. As you can see, looking fresh today. Had a brand new haircut. We're sitting in the barber's chair yesterday talking to the barber, and I was explaining Axie Infinity to him because I tell everybody about it now. And I was explaining crypto, and I realized that, you know, there are so many people that want to get involved but just don't know how. And yeah, we're really into a position now where it's starting to become mainstream. Business Insider, Bloomberg, CNN, all of these news channels are starting to pick up on Axie Infinity over the weekend. The markets are going to start pumping again soon. Things are picking up. I think we're in a really good place right now. We're in a really good place. And also, but there's a lot of, yeah, there's definitely a lot of, let's just say there's a lot of poo coins out there. There's a lot of bad crypto. There's a lot of NFTs that are going to crash and people are going to get wrecked. And so I'm very, very careful in advising, or not even advising, but like recommending things to people, because I don't want people to get wrecked. And that's why I'm saying to people, just like come and follow us, do what we're doing, because like what we're doing is incredible. So let me share with you right now on the screen so that you can see Felix. Now the reason I'm sharing Felix with you And hopefully you can see him okay there. Felix was our first VIP Super Scholar. So what is a VIP Super Scholar? What does that even mean? Well, I made a promise to my community that anybody who reached 2,000 MMR in Arena and maintained it, 2,000 MMR in Arena and maintained it, would become a VIP Super Scholar. Now, what does that do? Two things. One, it gives you the VIP Super Scholar role, and anybody in the community knows that there are some roles which people strive for. One of them being the, obviously, Scholar role, which is blue, and now we have the deeper, darker blue, which is the VIP Super Scholar. These are the top-level Axie players within the scholarship program. And it obviously depends on the Axies that you get, so I appreciate that with some people it must be frustrating if you can't get there, but we are doing our best to replace all of the Axie to make them all of the same. It's going to take time, but we're going to get there. And so what else do you get as a VIP Super Scholar? You get 40 energy. We'll use your account as a farming account. And what that means is that we will be breeding Axie within your account, which means that you will have access to your free Axie, but we will also leave additional Axie in your account whilst we breed them. So there's two reasons we've had to do this. One is because we want to support those who are pushing hard so that they can go harder. And two, we can't farm from one account anymore because we can only do 100 Ronin transactions per day. And we're hitting that limit at the moment. So now we need to start diversifying into other accounts. Makes absolute sense to use the Scholar accounts rather than leaving the Axie just sitting in a dormant account. So the Scholars don't get the Axie. They don't really even get to use the Axie. The Axie will come and go, so I wouldn't recommend playing with them. But to have them there as additional Axie whilst we're in the breeding cycle to allow you to get that 40 energy, which is right now allowing Scholars to push 350 to 400 SLP a day. Just to put that in context for you. So Felix, congratulations, kudos. You are our first official VIP Super Scholar. And very much deserved, and enjoying, hopefully, your 40 energy that you have in your account. Next on the list, Miracle. Miracle, Miracle, Miracle. Oh, Miracle. What can we say about this man? He is the light and soul of the server. He really is. Every single day he shows up, he streams. He's such a polite young man. He's a great guy, really knowledgeable, really friendly. And I'm rooting for him. He's kind of the good guy in my books. I think Fitzy's the supervillain and Miracle is kind of the underdog. And I like the banter. I do. I like the banter. And watching Miracle dodge the ban hammer on a daily basis is, well, it's entertaining, let's say the least. But no, it's great fun. We've got a great community. We have great fun. And love the banter. Miracle pushed so hard. Absolutely deserved. I did use his account as a test to see how this process would work. And I've allowed him to keep it because now he's obviously pushing really hard. And again, 40 energy. So definitely, I feel like he should be green, though, not blue, just because he's purely a plant-based player. Pure Plantino right there. But yeah, Miracle, love you, buddy. Amazing work. Air, thank you so much for all your effort and all your hard work as well, man. Looking amazing. And also, I want to give a massive, massive shout out to the artwork. All of the artwork within the community. See, I've noticed that, and I went through this channel the other day. We have a channel called Artwork for Us. There is so much incredible artwork. It's so difficult to pick what to use. But this is from Draymond. So Draymond has created all of these templates for us and uploaded them. So a huge, massive, massive shout out to Draymond. Thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, for Air, again, it's VIP Super Scholar. Very, very much deserved. Well played. The problem we have here now is that we are running out of Axie to allow the 40 energy. So, Draymond also made the Coach Cody sticker. Oh, incredible. That's amazing. Yeah, very, very much appreciated. See, all of the artwork, so appreciated. You guys are so talented. Love it. It's amazing. So, yeah, Well played. I will do my best to get more Axie. I don't have any spare Axie anymore, so I can't award the 40 energy at the moment. I just got no Axie left. I've got none left. I've got no money to buy anymore. I've got no Axie left. All of the Axie are in Scholar accounts right now. So I will do my best to bring more 40 energy on as soon as possible. But still, having the role and being noticed and awarded this VIP Super Scholar role. We might have to do like a rotation of the. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But do you know what? Doesn't matter. The fact is, we're here, and all of these people are absolutely crushing it. Kim as well. Kim, amazing VIP Super Scholar. Congratulations. Great effort. Yeah, we've literally run out of Axie. I've got over 100 Axie on the account, and they're all being used right now in Scholar accounts. Like I don't think I have any Axie left in my account. I think my main account is literally empty. But yeah, amazing work. So I want to go through and just acknowledge. And as you can see, right, so many, and I didn't even realize like everyone would be doing this. Ivan P, you beautiful man. VIP Super Scholar, 40 energy coming your way at some point. And also, there's something else I got to point out, and I need to mention this because I don't know where it was talked about. I need to see if I can find it. Where was it? We had a conversation, and I acknowledged. Maybe you can help me out, chat. Maybe you can help me out. I missed a scholar who actually was awarded first. I'm seeing if I can find it. I don't know where it happened. I think it might have been in the Scholar chat. It could have possibly been somewhere else. But what happened? Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what happened. I missed a Scholar. They become a VIP Super Scholar, and I missed them. And so what happened is I went to the fourth person. Now, I can't remember because it's been a busy weekend. I can't remember if it was Ivan P that I missed or if he was the one that mentioned it. And I'm looking through to see it. I think it was Ivan that I missed. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't find it. I'm having a quick scroll. I think it was between Kim and maybe R and Kim. Maybe it was between you two. Maybe. Anyway, here's what happened. I missed one of the scholars who reached. It was Kim. Okay, amazing. So, was it Kim that I missed? Okay, so it was Kim that I missed. So, Kim. Okay, here's what happened. I saw. Yeah, okay, thanks, chat. Thank you. So I saw out and I said, congratulations, you become a VIP Super Scholar. I'm going to give you 40 energy. And he said, wait. And now I want you to understand how incredible this is and how much I really, really appreciate this. He said, wait. He said, you've made a mistake. He said, I wasn't third. He said, I was fourth. Kim was third. And you missed the message. So whilst he could have taken an additional 7 Axie and he could have pushed 40 energy every day for himself on his own account and I wouldn't have known any different. He could have done that because I'm not going to give him the Axie and take them away. He stepped up. He had integrity. He had honesty. He had all of the core values that we look for within our server. And he said, I can wait. Please give the additional Axie to Kim because he deserves them because he was first. So that was such a moment to witness because that is you guys and girls applying what we talk about. That is you embodying the core values and living them and using them. And that is why I said, whoa, hold on, 1 minute. Hold on, if you're going to do that, if you are going,
normally,
then I'm going to send you $50 because you're incredible. So I sent Air $50 to say thank you for your honesty and your core values, and we gave Kim the Axie. So he has the 40 Axie. So I believe that is the correct order. So it was Felix, Miracle, Kim, Air, and then Ivan P. I believe. I hope I've got that right because so many of you. But amazing, and I love that story. And I sent it across into in PHP. I sent it across. It was I think it was like 1,500 PHP I sent across. And I'm just saying that because I'm not going to reward everybody. I can't. But there are moments when I see something incredible and I want people to be rewarded for that. So yeah, that integrity and that honesty to me was worth rewarding. And beautifully mentioned to me this morning, this is not DITS. In fact, I would say that DITS become a VIP Super Scholar, but this is definitely not DITS. Okay, so I thought it was going to be DITS. It wasn't. It was definitely not DITS. The definitely not DITS is now a VIP Super Scholar. I managed to make it this morning. So again, I'm so sorry I don't have any Axie to give you 40 energy at the moment. But yeah, I will do that as soon as I can. You will be on the list in order that you qualified, and we will work something out. Guys, don't forget to eat and drink as well if you are hungry and thirsty. But yeah, no, I thought it was DITS. Fitzy, I thought it was DITS. I was certain. I was like, oh wow, DITS has done it. It's definitely not DITS. Definitely not DITS. Hey, so massive round of applause. Congratulations to all of the Super Scholars. All of the Super Scholars. And to all of the scholars. I want to recognize people that go above and beyond. But I also, whilst I do this, I want to reinforce a point that is important. This is not required. We are not shilling hype. We do not require you to work 8 to 10 hours a day at 2K MMR to be able to grind like 400 SLP a day. That's not what we're about. If you want to do it, we will support you. We will acknowledge you. We will celebrate you. And we love to see it, of course. But I want you to remember that all of our scholars have a minimum requirement of 100 SLP a day, 5 days a week, and that is for 50 weeks of the year. Okay, we consider that to be fair working conditions, and 3 to 4 hours a day, which is what it takes, 3 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, should be absolutely plenty with the Axie that we provide to be able to generate 100 SLP a day. If you can go above and beyond that, you're more than welcome to. You can go above and beyond it. We just don't require it. But of course, we're going to celebrate it. Why wouldn't we? So, to each and every one of you, thank you ever so much. I love all of the effort that you guys are putting in at the moment. Because here's the thing. The more money that you guys make, the more money that we make. And the more money that we make, the more money that we can reinvest. And anything that we reinvest goes into more scholars. So that's what we're doing. So let's have a quick look and see how we're doing at the moment on the Scholar Tracker. We're going to bring in Miss Shayla in a few minutes' time. We all sorted, Fitzy. We're good there, mate. I just want to have a quick check. So, look, before we go into these scholars, just for 2 seconds, and we've been doing this most days, so I'm going to do it again now. It's becoming a thing. It's becoming a thing. Let's just pop up TradingView and let's have a look at the price of SLP. Now, don't worry, okay? You really need to understand that this is a process. This is a process. Now, back on the 21st of August, I had this idea and this intention that this was going to pump. Now, obviously, I was wrong. And this is what I said to you. I don't always get it right. I got a part of it right. It started right, but it didn't continue. It didn't continue. So we got the initial retest. That was perfect. But then when it retested and it hit this support line, it punched through. It punched through this support line. Now, we have a thesis. We have an idea. We think it's going to do this. Okay, that's our thesis. And then we wait for the candle to print out. Now, as soon as this candle did this, we know that here we can see, well, it hasn't done what we thought it was going to do. And because it hasn't done this, because it went down rather than up, we know right now that we can scrap that entire thought process. It's no longer relevant. Okay, our thesis was incorrect, and therefore we need to adjust. And then we try a new thesis. That's all we do. We just try until we get it right. So what would we have done here in a normal situation? Well, we would have had a stop loss under here because we would believe that it was going to bounce. Therefore, if it was going to drop down, we have a stop loss in place, which cuts us out of the trade. Okay, and then this drops down to here. And then at a point when it bounces and retests, so remember that we've got this line, it's dropped down, it's bounced, it's retest before going back up. And so what we can do at this stage is we could buy in here. This is called the confirmation buy. So on this confirmation buy, we can buy back in, we can sell it here, it drops back down. We know this is a support level, so we can buy back here, we can sell it here, we can buy back here. So can you see how we were waiting for this pump, but instead what we've managed to do is buy and sell, buy and sell. This is what I've basically done over the weekend. Okay, I've used these two lines to buy and sell. And so all I'm doing is trading my SLP. Now, I want you to understand right now that we've got a payday coming up. And so when payday comes up, the most obvious thing that scholars are going to want to do is cash out. How do I get my SLP and turn it into pesos or dollars or whatever you're going to turn it into? And so I just want to take a second and say to you that yes, I get that. Yes, I understand you need to do that. But only cash out what you absolutely need right now. If we look at the graph here and we look at the price of SLP, we are drawing along this line here. And this line here is a solid support, a bottom level support. Okay, we look at the all-time highs. Our all-time highs were up here. That means we have this whole range to play in. And we're at the bottom of this range, meaning that if you sell your SLP here, if you sell here, you're selling it for the lowest it can be right now. So if you can, my advice, not financial advice, but just what I would do in your situation, if I was a scholar and I was getting paid this week, what I would do is I would take out absolutely the minimum amount that I need to live. Okay, what is going to just get me through the next week? Okay, that's it. How do I get through the next week? How much do I need? And cash that out. And leave the rest in here until this at least pops up to this level. If you can leave it all in, great. If you don't need any of it, great. But I would leave it in until it at least comes back up to the 20 cents. Remember what Siam said. All of the stuff says that if you look at the technical, the fundamental, all of the analysis, it says that SLP is going back up. You know, I've bought a lot of SLP because I believe this. And yes, it could go down again. It could keep going down. But Sky Mavis are aware of it. They're going to be making changes. Stuff is going to happen. The markets are going to change. We need to know that if we sell our SLP here, we're selling it at the bottom. And it is always recommended in trading that you buy the bottom and you sell the top. Buy the red, sell the green. And right now, SLP is in the red. It's going down. And we're waiting for this. See, this is in a downtrend. From here all the way down here. See, this was an uptrend. This is a downtrend. So we're still in our downtrend. So we need to wait for the next uptrend, which will come. Because guess what? That's what happens. That's the market. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see up, down, up, down. It's going to keep doing that. That's its purpose. That's its purpose. That is what it will do. So please, 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 if you're going to get paid, make sure that you only take out what you absolutely need to get you through the next week and leave the rest in there until the price goes up so that you can get more. I want you to get as much money as possible. And if you cash out all your SLP in one go, you're not going to do that. All right. That being said, I'm still waiting because I think SLP is going to go up. And we've got a couple of days left. Also, I have an announcement to make. I have a special announcement. We've got some good news, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some good news. And it's not Miss Shayla, even though that is good news. We've got some more good news. I've done a bit of research. I've looked into the numbers, I've looked into the admin, and I've looked into the processes. And I can confirm, live on stream, I haven't even spoke to the Discord about it. Nobody knows about this right now. Not even the team know about this. I'm breaking this to you now. We are going to start from day one, which is payday, which is the 1st of September. And that is our first payday. We are going to launch on a bi-weekly pay. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. We are going to be paying our scholars every 2 weeks. We're not going to do monthly. We're going to do every 2 weeks. The reason we're going to do this is because if you are to join as a scholar, what you will realize is that you have to wait 14 days before the SLP that you earn on that day is unlocked. So because the SLP is locked by Sky Mavis for 2 weeks, we can't even access it. We can't pay it out. We can't give it to you. There's nothing we can do. So in order to make the admin fair and in order to make it okay, if you were to join and you were to join in the middle of the month, you would work for 2 weeks, payday would come, and you wouldn't get paid because you wouldn't be able to unlock that SLP. Meaning it would take 6 weeks to get your first paycheck. Worst case scenario, 6 weeks. And I don't like that. I don't like you having to wait for 6 weeks. That's not fair. So by doing it every 2 weeks, it means that you're either going to have to wait 2 weeks or 6 weeks. And remember, people before profits. What is best for the people? Is it something we can do? Is there a way that we can do it where it's not pushing too much admin, it's not putting too much pressure? Is there a way that we can pay out every 2 weeks? And the answer is yes. But it does come with a small caveat. There is a small term to this. We are going to be creating more admin because we're going to have to dedicate an additional day to payouts. Now, whilst we've only got 30 scholars, it's not a problem. But when we have 300 or 3,000 scholars, it's going to be a lot of work. So, for that reason, right now, for us to move into a 2-week model, we are only going to pay SLP. I know some people have been asking for PayPal, some people have been asking for bank accounts. I know some people want PHP, some people want US dollars. I understand, I hear you, and we will look into the possibility of doing that. We will try. But for now, everybody will be paid into their Ronin wallet because we have to protect our admin and our time. And it's a case of I can't do everything. And so we will create this week for all of the scholars, we will create video guides and we will create all of the information that you need to understand exactly step by step how to cash out your money. We will show you exactly what to do. So we will guide you, we will help you, don't worry. But it will be paid out in SLP. Now, what does that mean? That means that you have to pay and you have to be aware of this. And I'm telling you in advance so you're not caught out. You will have to pay the gas fee when you transfer that SLP. There's no way around it. If you didn't have to pay it at your end, I'd have to pay it at my end. But by me paying the gas fee, it's more admin because then I have to transfer it. I have to move it from here to there. I'm trying to make this process simple. It's not to say it won't change. It might change in the future. We might make it a bit easier, a bit better. But for now, we're going to pay out in SLP and then we'll see how we do this. Okay, we'll see what we do. So that's going to be the starting point. Now, I'm going to, like the way that I would like to do this is I'm going to take all of the SLP, I'm going to take it off of the exchange. That's the idea. So I will do in one big transfer, I will take everything from the Ronin wallet and I will put it into another account. Okay, and then we will send it across that way. But I just need you to know that if we do that, maybe into Binance or wherever we're going to send it, that's the way we're going to go to do this. We just need some time to set that up. Okay, so we just need to work that out. We need to know what we're going to do. So to start off with, first payday, everyone's going to be paid into their Ronin wallet, first payday. And then from there, we will work out the process to make it better and to make sure that we can help you. But we need to figure that out. It's our first time doing it. So with that being said, I think we need to crack on with today's show. We're running a little bit late, but we're sounding great, so it's okay. And just before we push in, a very, very quick look. We're not going to spend long here, but just a very, very quick look. Now, Basics account is obviously broken at the moment because he's not averaging 2,000 SLP. That would be insane. But at the moment, Basics account, I think we're waiting for it to update. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. 1,221 MMR at the moment, according to this. So, 51,000 SLP in the account, currently worth $7,000. Scholars have earned $3,500. And remember that even though ours says $3,500, 25% of that is going into the Axie buyback scheme, so that all of the scholars can own their Axie. So with that being said, 1,121 MMR, and yesterday 171 SLP. Amazing effort. Ain has 1,496 MMR, averaging out 188. Great work so far. Descendants, 1,651 MMR. 1,650 is the sweet spot. This is the kind of key number that we're aiming for. And so I'm just going to swap screen so you can see what I'm going through as I talk through these numbers. But we can see here, Descendants, 1,651. Amazing effort. Well played so far. Really, really well done. 184 average. Honorable Shogun, 171 average, 1,541 MMR. Remember that 1,500 MMR is what we're aiming for. That's what we're aiming for. But if you can get to 1,650, this is the sweet spot. Anything above it is a bonus, as we can see by Miracle. Miracle currently sitting at 2,120 MMR. That is amazing. 2,120 MMR. Great effort so far from Miracle, averaging 220 SLP. Yesterday managed to clock up 429 SLP and says the same today as well. So sitting on over 400 SLP a day with 40 energy at 2,100 MMR. Absolute monster, Miracle, doing incredible. Already earned $800 this month. $800 this month earned so far. $400 going to Miracle right now. Amazing. Amazing. G doing really well as well. 172 here. Currently sitting at 1,383 MMR. Sneaky, 176 average, 1,607. So well done, above the 1,500. Amazing. Obviously, we will continue to work with G. We have changed your Axie over. So you are now running a koi on the back line. You've actually got a Biden's koi, G, on the back line now. So we've started to change out the Axie already. Obviously, G was on a double Nemo backline, which is why it was difficult. So hopefully we'll start to see this increase now because of this this new koi, Biden's koi backline. Hopefully that'll make a difference. Also, as well with Descendants, I know we mentioned that as well. Also, we've got a koi on AIN now as well, which is good. Basic has a koi. So we're starting to swap these out. They're starting to swap, which is good. We're getting there. Sneaky sitting at 1,600. Well played, Sneaky. Amazing effort. Again, Nemo Koi, so that's good. 176 average. Strike, 164 average with 1,367. Also now sitting with the Dual Blade and the Koi backline. Still need to swap out some of these Axie. But overall, it's all good. It's all good. We're getting there. And look, we're still, even though we don't have these ideal Axie, still managing to average over 160. Over 160 average, which is incredible. Because 160 SLP a day average is what you need to be able to graduate within 12 months. So amazing effort so far. Mikkel, 1,371. Great effort so far. We do need to swap out your Axie. I know that. We will get them swapped out. I know that you're struggling a little bit because of the Axie. We will get them changed. You are next on the list. We will get this done. We will get this done. Gracie, awesome work, Gracie. 1,612. So happy to see this. 167 on the average there. Doing really, really well. Gracie, well played. Coming down, Be Humble. Be Humble, 169 on average, 1,570 MMR. Again, we're getting those 12 SLPs per win. It's all we can ask for. Amazing effort so far. Biden's Koi backline with the Nemo and the standard plant. So, again, doing really, really well. What can I say here? Jethu, what can I say here, my friend? Doing amazing. 1,772. Currently sitting, yes, average of 217. 217 average. Doing really well. For someone who's just started, doing incredible. Really, really proud of you. Doing really, really well. Well played. Well played. 1,772 MMR. Ivan P. What can I say, my friend? What can we say? Just started. Getting down the line now. So obviously the further down we go, the later they started in the process. So Ivan P sitting here right now, 2,083, giving Miracle a run for his money. Giving Miracle a run for his money on a top spot so far. Sitting on 2,083. Ivan P, well played. 234 average SLP a day. Amazing. Air, as we know, 2,100 there. Sitting on average 165. Well played. Really good effort so far. Definitely not Dits. I've just noticed. Smashed into first place. So 2,120 to Miracle. And 2,123. An additional 3 MMR puts definitely not Dits. So this is not Dits. I was going to say that Dits was top, but this is definitely not Dits. Definitely not Dits. Averaging out 198 SLP. Sitting at 2,123. We will make sure you get your 40 energy. It is very, very much deserved. But congratulations. An incredible effort. Considering that your account was only created on the 26th. That was 4 days ago. So you have, in 4 days of getting your account, and you do have the coordinator. So you have the coordinator, and with the coordinator, which is the Ronin, it is the Leaf Bug, and it is the Bidens. So with the coordinator, in 4 days, you are able to have climbed. This is 923 MMR climb. 923 MMR in 4 days. That is what is possible. I'm sure, I am so confident this is definitely not Dits. Do not be confused with Dits. If you see Dits, that's an imposter. Dits is sus. Okay? Dits is an imposter. This is definitely not Dits. All right. Moving on, Marcus, also incredible effort, Marcus. 1,500 MMR, getting you 12 SLP, 182 average. Great effort so far. Kim, as mentioned, 212 average, incredible. 2,005 MMR. Just so proud of you guys. Doing incredible, doing so well. Fade's doing awesome. Fade's also just started out literally a couple of days ago. 1,470 MMR, averaging out 170 SLP. Great work so far. Dits is definitely sus. Definitely not Dits is not sus. That makes sense. Felix sitting on 1,868. Looks like you had a couple of knockbacks on your games there, Felix. Looks like you lost a bit of MMR, which happens. We go up and down, I get that. But currently sitting at an average of 333 MMR. I'm not sure if this is bugged, but he does have 40 energy, so it's possible. 324 today, 423 yesterday. It might just be that he's knocked himself down so that he can get more energy. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, if we look at the history there, we can see 2016, 2068. Yeah, drop back down again. He was in the top 10,000 rank. I just want you to appreciate, he made the top 10,000 rank. We're going to have to check something in a minute. Orky at the moment sitting 180 average, 1,293. Really good effort so far. I know you don't have the best lineup. I get that. I understand. We will get them swapped out, but it was a case of getting you started. Needed to get you started. So, Mischief, 221 average, 1,373 MMR. Great effort so far. Snowy, 150 average, 1251, but only started yesterday, so understood. Yeza, 123, 1,168. Again, only started yesterday. Got some good lineup. Got a Nemo Koi, got the Bidens, but not perfect lineups. So I appreciate it was a case of just getting you in because we needed to get you in. All right. Again, I see this and I understand. 1,422 MMR with 161 average on Raddy. Raddy, well played. Awesome effort so far. Mackie Rider, 1077. We'll have a chat. You've got a really good lineup, Mackie Rider. So we'll have a chat. We'll get Cody to have a chat with you, see what we can do. 131 average. I know you literally only just started. I get that. I get that you've only just started yesterday. But we'll have a look, make sure we can get you above that 1,200 and see if we can push you up the right way in your journey so you don't slip down too much. And then Tornado Jason, we need to look at that. Those names are wrong. Demigod and Not a Weeb, and I know there's one other, will be onboarded this week. So that's it. That's it. We'll help Mackie. We'll sort Mackie out. Don't you worry. We'll sort Mackie out. We'll sort it all out. We'll get there. Don't worry. Like, this is why we check this. This is why we look. Mikkel will help you out. G, we'll make sure you're sorted. Honorable Shogun, Ain, we'll check over. We'll make sure you guys are all right. Orky, Mischief, we'll monitor it. We'll sort you all out. We'll make sure you're okay. Don't worry. We've got you covered. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're running a little bit late, but we are going to jump into a call now with the one, with the only, with the beautiful Shayla. Let's see if we can get her on a call, shall we? Let's see if we can get her on the call. Bear with me just 1 second. Shayla, hello.
I'm very well. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. You're on your mobile now, I believe.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Are you on your mobile?
I am on my mobile. Unfortunately, oh, here we go. Hold on. Clearly facing the wrong way. Bear with me.
That's all right. I think we can make this work. Hold on, guys. Let me just sort this out. Oh, that looks incredible. You look amazing. Right, hold on. Let me just do this. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. 1 second. For the interview, I need to be able to just share. Here we go.
I want to be able
there we go. Look at this.
Comment.
Right, we're here. We can see you. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you? So good to see you.
It's weird because you're looking that way, which means you're not looking. Oh, are you looking at me now? Which way?
There we go. How's that? I should be looking right at you.
Perfect. You are looking directly at me.
I don't know if this is going to work, but let's try this. What happens if you turn your phone 90 degrees?
90
Does
degrees.
It work? Can you do that?
Yes, but
that doesn't work. Only because I was wondering if it would snap the orientation of the stream. But that's fine. That's fine. You've got good padding. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just introduce. This is Miss Shayla, Ma'am Shayla. This is, as many of you will know from the Discord channel, the lady that has been relentlessly working to keep your health and your well-being in check, to make sure that you are all looking after yourselves. And a very, very good friend of mine, a beautiful, beautiful human being, I want to welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm very well. I am so excited to be here. Excited to be invited. We have a bit of a delay, so when I see you...
let me fix that for you right now. I'm going to share my... let me share my camera on here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so you might be able to watch me on Discord rather than... That should work.
Okay, hold on. I think your camera's
come through.
Trying to load.
Okay. Hopefully that'll come through. Well, hopefully the delay's not too bad.
I'm sure that'll come through. But anyway, camera pending. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm excited to get to know the members. If any of the members have questions, I'm seeing comments. Good evening, guys. Hi.
So this is so exciting. What we'll do, because there are some questions. So, chat, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a chat with Shayla and get to know her a little bit better, because she is helping out in the Discord. And it makes sense that if you're going to be talking to people, you know who they are. And then we're just going to have a bit of a general chat between us about the health and well-being and what you can do to look after yourself. In terms of, this is not just about earning money. Okay, Axie is an opportunity right now for the play to earn space. And yes, that can help your financial well-being. But there's so much more. You need to consider your mental well-being. You need to consider your physical well-being, as well as your financial well-being. health and well-being and health and fitness and whatever you want to consider, whatever terminology, whatever words you want to use, but your well-being is not pigeoned into one area. And so what Shayla does really well is she is able to help people to work on their emotional and their physical well-being. And that's what she does, and that's why she's here. So I'm going to look through some of the questions, but first, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you. So why are you here? How did you get here? And actually, not here, there. Where are you right now?
I am beautiful Thailand right now.
In Thailand, amazing.
I'm in Thailand. I'm in a little island called Koh Samui. I got here. I'm not sure how I got here myself. I was only supposed to come here for a 1-month holiday about 4 years ago, and then I'm still here. But I started off my professional life in London, where we met actually many years ago.
This is true.
And then left London, moved on to different things, and I started in the corporate world, but the corporate world wasn't the only thing for me. So I ended up doing some life coaching and some personal training qualifications and a few other things. And I've always been interested in helping other people develop, helping myself develop. And it's all magically come together in this project.
It has. And
I'm having the opportunity. I'm actually so grateful for the members here for trusting me. I was blown away by the number of people that have messaged and shared their personal stories and trusted me and my advice and my comments. I've been very blessed. So I guess that's me in a nutshell.
I've seen, and I don't think it's possible for us to explain how beautiful your soul is as a human being. You are one of the most incredibly kind people that I have the privilege to know, and I hope we can just do some justice to that today to allow other people to see that, because you do incredible work around the world with people who just don't even know a lot of the stuff that you do. And I'm not obviously going to go into detail and share, but you are just, having known you for the length of time that I've known you and seen what you do and how you help people, it was a no-brainer for me, like, to invite you into the community. It was a no-brainer. You were the best person that I could think to look after this aspect, and to see you in the Discord talking to people. And I know you've dealt, and obviously I want to be respectful to people. I'm not going to share any stories or anything here because they're private. But that being said, I know you've had an impact, and you've helped some people that have gone through some really distressing times in the Discord already in just a short month. I mean, absolutely, it's just incredible. So you're busy, you're flying around the world, you're all over the place, you're doing all this incredible stuff, you're helping all these people, and yet
I haven't been flying around the world so much since COVID.
Well, since COVID, yes, this is true.
Since COVID, but that's okay.
And I think that the other thing as well is that you've gone on a bit of a crypto journey, haven't you? Like, you've gone on a bit of adventure, I think it's fair to say. I think that when did you first hear about crypto? When was that word first entered into your awareness?
I mean, look, I heard about Bitcoin, this random strange thing that people called Bitcoin years ago. And I had a few people I knew that bought some Bitcoin, and they didn't really know what to do with it or what was going to happen. And I laughed at them. I thought, what are you doing with that? What a waste of money. And fast forward 5, 7, maybe years later, no one's laughing now, are they? No.
Well, the people holding Bitcoin are laughing now.
Well, yeah. No one's laughing at them now, for sure. And I have never been very financially minded until actually, Steve, you came along. And I was following your crypto journey on Facebook, and I started watching one video and watching another video and testing the waters. And now I am, thanks to you, a full crypto head, crypto addict. And I'm very excited about it. I've been completely converted.
And what a beautiful space for you to be in, to be able to join us on this journey, because I think we've had enough discussions where we know and trust each other enough to see what incredible things we're doing here. And I love that. Yeah. And so...
Yes, we're definitely on the same page as far as what's happening with this community. And I've been very fortunate to have been part of this project from the start, from when it all, was a little hatching baby.
Yep.
To what we have now, which is how many members, Steve? Over 2,000, I think.
I'd have to check. It's well over 2,000 now. I can't quite get my head around how it's grown. I mean, we're 4 weeks old. This project is 4 weeks old. Yeah. 2,300. 2,370 members in the Discord right now. In just 4 weeks.
This is special. This is really special.
And also, it's not just bot accounts. It's not just, lurkers. These are people who are actively making friends, talking, like interacting, spending time, grinding together. Yeah,
that's exactly it. And this is a beautiful thing that I've noticed in this community, because very often, I thought when I first came in, I'd be jumping in a lot to the conversations, to help, to comment. And actually what's happened is the community are so supportive of each other. So I can mostly take a back seat because, they know what they're doing. They know how to help each other. This community is incredible. And I think there's so much, there's just such a sense of supportive spirit that's going on in these 2,000 plus people, strangers that have come together and are just incredible in jumping in straight away. If someone is having a bad day, hey, feel better. Don't forget to eat. Don't forget to have a good sleep. If you need to chat, come and talk. You guys are going to put me out of work soon. So.
Well, here's the thing. Crypto has changed my life. There's no denying that. It's made a massive impact, and you've seen the journey that I've been on. Yeah. But NFTs have connected me to a community, and that community has restored my faith in humanity. Mm-hmm. There's no other way to explain it. The family that we've created in Undisputed Noob has restored my faith in humanity. It's given me hope for a better future. Whereas at one point I was very negatively looking out on the government and the organizations were to think, I don't just want to earn money by, taking it from someone else. I want to be able to give back. And now I can earn money whilst giving back and empowering others. I friggin' love it. Crypto, NFTs, the community, everything. It is just, if you said what do you want to do with your life? This is it. Right now, this is it. I don't want this to end. And hopefully it won't. Somebody asked me the other day, how long do I think Axie Infinity is going to last? Well, I hope at least 2 to 3 years. And regardless of how long it lasts, the play to earn model is not going away. This is here to stay. And so if Axie doesn't last, we'll move into something else. We're not going anywhere. This community is here to stay.
You said it.
So with that being said, I have a couple of questions, and there are a few people who are asking some things, and I just want to open this up to the chat, by the way. Chat, if you have any questions, anything at all that you want to share, post it in the comments. Sir Fitzy's there. I don't know why I'm calling him Sir Fitzy. I call him Sir Fitzy now. Sir Fitzy is there.
Did I call you Steve as well?
Yes. I know, it feels strange. Because in the army, a sir was an officer. And a joke that we had as soldiers in the army is that officers never did anything. And so we used to say, don't call me sir because I work for a living. And so when I get called sir now, it makes me feel lazy, like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I need to step up and do some more work. But no, Sir Fitzy, because he is the lazy. No, I'm joking. Of course he's not. He's incredible. We'll take your questions in the chat, and he will send them across to me, so I will be able to pick them out. In fact, we've got so many so far.
I can see. Can I just answer one very quickly?
Please do.
I've just seen Heinzen Fernandez ask if I'm available to chat to directly. And the answer is yes, absolutely. You can DM me anytime.
Yes. So I think this is really important that we mention this. Shayla will never DM you first, because in the community we have to protect our members from scammers, from people with fake accounts. And you have to understand that in Discord, on Twitter, on Telegram, wherever you are, the main way that people scam these days is they create an account with the same name, same profile picture as the main people, and they'll just change like one letter in the username, like they'll change an O to a 0 or an I to an L, something that's almost indistinguishable, and they will connect with you. I do not want you to think that you are talking to one of us and actually be talking to someone else, especially if you are sharing personal, not details, but, you know, private and sensitive information about your life. I want you to make sure that you are sharing that with the right person. And so Shayla is in our Discord, and you will know because her name is green. And so you will know it is her, because we will not give that role to anyone else. So if anybody reaches out to you, it's not going to be us, okay? You can reach out to Shayla. If you want to talk to her, you can do that. You can reach out to her, and she will have a conversation with you. But just make sure that you are talking to official and genuine people, and not copycats or scammers, please. I just want to mention that, guys, because as we grow, we're going to get a lot more of this, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's the downside to growing. It's the problem we have to deal with. So we're aware of it, and all we can do right now is just raise your awareness. So chat, I just want you to be aware, okay? We will not message you first. And if you want to reach out to us, you can do it. It'll be the official. Just make sure you check the Discord roles, okay? That we've got the right color in our name. Sorry, I just wanted to point that across because it's so important now to protect security.
It really is.
But yeah, so people can reach out to you. So that's good. Thank you for that.
People can reach out to me. They can DM me if they want to have a private conversation. And I will respond as quickly as I possibly can. Or if they want to share something with the community and it's not completely private and they're happy for it to be on the chat forum, we have the health and well-being section on Discord where, you know, you can post a message there. The rest of the community can come and rally around for support. And of course, I will be there too. But if it's more private, I'm here anytime on DMs.
Perfect. So I've got a couple of questions to get started with, and then I thought maybe we could go into a chat just about general health and wellness and things that people can do, some tips and tricks. The first one come through yesterday, and I want to be very cautious that we don't So one thing that I need to say to you, the same way that I can't give financial advice, like I'm not going to give you any financial advice. We can't, we're not doctors here, right? We can't give you medical advice. We can give you an opinion and we can give you what we would do, all right? But this is not like medical advice. Like sometimes you do need to go and see a doctor. Sometimes there's times when you need to get help above and beyond. And there's no shame in that. Sometimes that needs to happen. But what we're going to deal with here, and for that reason, we're going to try and avoid a lot of the COVID topic because I think it's already been done and there's such a diverse opinion on it. We don't want to focus on that. But obviously there's been a fallout from COVID. We can all agree with that. And so one question that I kind of want to share, because I think there's a few people who are have the same sentiment of this. And this is... Sorry, I just saw one from Jonard, and I don't know if you're trolling or not, because you might be genuine. If you're genuine, fair play to you. But you said, can I take a bath right after playing? Sometimes after I've been playing with Fitzy, sometimes I need to take a bath.
What?
It's not a case of can you. Sometimes I have to. I feel so dirty sometimes.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question is, can you take a bath right after playing the computer game for hours? It depends who you're playing with and what you're playing with. Sometimes you have to.
Sometimes the bath is just the right thing.
Sometimes you should play in the bath, but just not with your computer. Don't take the PC in the bath. This is going to go wrong. Mobile games only.
Just in case it was a genuine question, yes, there is no harm in having a bath after you've been on the computer.
It depends how tired you are, though. Don't fall asleep in the bath.
Oh, this is going to be a hilarious stream. Okay.
Okay, so a serious question, because I saw that and that was a funny one. Dan Duran has said, how can we fight depression, specifically when we are in a time of a pandemic and it's difficult to connect?
Oh, okay. That is a great question.
We're jumping straight in at the deep end here. How do people deal with depression, Shayla?
I mean, look. Wow, that's a huge topic. Let's see if we can break this down a little bit.
Yeah, let's do this.
The last 18 months, I think we can all agree, have been tough. I mean, they've been hard for everyone globally. I don't think I know a single person, myself included, that hasn't been affected by this pandemic in some way or another. You know, people have lost jobs. They've lost loved ones. They've lost freedom. They've lost connections. There's been a lot of loss, a lot of feeling of disconnection, of isolation, loneliness. I mean, the list goes on. And I think we're all still feeling it. And this has led, certainly, I've spoken to a lot of our members that have suffered, depression, anxiety. I know I personally went through a period of depression, just a few months ago. It happens to all of us, whether we are professionals or not, or, it doesn't matter. As long as you're human, it can happen to you. So this is a really great question, because I think a lot of our members can resonate with the situation. And I think... Sorry.
I was just going to say I agree, and I think it's important to understand, like, with depression, are you living with depression or are you just visiting? Because I think there's a difference. Like what you've just mentioned, there's things that can happen, like situations in life that can cause a temporary depression.
Yeah.
But then there's people that are connected to a story where they are deeply depressed.
Yes. And I think that's a very important distinction, where, yes, if you've lost a loved one, of course you're going to feel that sense of sadness. That's completely normal. And some people, suffer from depression in a more medical sense. But I think regardless of what type of depression you may experience, there are things that can be done. I think a lot of it comes down, there's actions that you can take, and we will get to those in a minute. But I personally believe, and I think research would show, mindset is super important as well. Your mindset when you are in a difficult situation is crucial. So when something bad happens, you've lost your job. Yes, you're allowed to feel upset. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to feel whatever you need to feel. I think the difference is when we choose to, like you said, Steve, make that our story. And I know I've been guilty of, being in a bad situation and allowing myself to sit in a big puddle of self-pity, where I just sit there and I say, well, this is so unfair. Why did this happen to me? Why me? Why not someone else? I didn't do anything to deserve this. And you sit there and you go into a vicious cycle, because the more you think that way, the more upset about the situation you get, and you just keep spiraling down. And the problem with that is it's very easy to do because it's comforting, isn't it? It's easier to feel sorry for yourself and sit in that puddle of pity and poor me than it is to rise above it and take action, right?
I think we can agree that nobody wants to be in a pity puddle.
No one wants
no one
to be.
wants to be in it. Like, people find themselves in one. That's probably the time when you need to have a bath. Not after playing games. When you're sat in a pity puddle, that's when you need a bath. And you're right, because, and I've done it. I mean, I've suffered from depression, and it's so difficult because I never agreed with labels. And I think for me, that was a hard thing to deal with. Is I've had people try and label me with things in the past, and I'm very conscious that for somebody who is mentally not as strong as they could or should be, it's easy for people to attach to those labels. And so if somebody says you're something and you're not strong enough to defend yourself, you'll tend to agree, and then whatever, and this is what Shayla just said with mindset, what you think, you become. So whatever you think, right, you first you think, and then you do, and then you become. So you think something, then you do something, then you become something. And a good example is, I think I want to get healthy, I'm going to do the gym, and then I'm going to be stronger, fitter, healthier. There's a process. So it has to start with a mindset. If you don't think, I'm going to the gym, you'll never get to the gym. Right. So you have to think first. I think if you listen to what Michelle is saying, she's saying that you have to start with your mindset. And I completely agree with you.
Yeah, and the opposite is true as well. If you adopt the belief that maybe because you've had a breakup or you've lost your job, that in some way you are worthless, then you are going to act in a way that not makes you worthless because you aren't, but you're not going to take advantage of any opportunities because you convince yourself that that is your story. I am worthless, therefore I don't deserve good things, therefore I won't even try to do good things, so I'll sit in my puddle of sadness, depression, negative thought.
Absolutely.
So I think the important thing is, when you are in a situation like that, when something bad happens, before the spiral begins, is to say, okay, I'm going to allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel. I can feel sad, I can feel rejected, I can feel worried. But then you stop yourself and you say, right, this bad thing has happened. It sucks. What am I going to do about it now? And I think that starts to change the story, because you're taking control. You're taking on your power.
I agree. This is something which is it was taught to me in school. It's called garbage in, garbage out. And Google was always the example that was used. If you type into Google, why am I depressed? It will give you a load of reasons why you are depressed. Google will answer the questions that you give it. So if you type in, why am I depressed? Google will tell you why you're depressed, thus confirming your depression. But if you can say to Google, not why am I, but instead, how can I? Then you're going to empower yourself to ask better questions. If you ask better questions, you'll get better answers.
That's right. That's exactly it. I mean, look, we have to, this community is the perfect example of, I know a lot of our members have had really, really tough times. I've spoken to a lot of them. I know a lot of them have lost jobs. A lot of them have lost relationships or are going through breakups. But for example, on the job front, they could have just sat back and said, oh, poor me, I've lost my job, but it's COVID and it's the pandemic, so there's no jobs and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to sit at home and sleep all day. And no one's going to blame you for it. People will probably say, oh, poor you, we understand, and make it really comfortable for you to do that.
Yep.
But what every single person in this community has done was they got off their ass and they found an opportunity and they applied for it. And here we are with, some of the scholars are already on their way, and everyone else is in line to have financial freedom. You have found a way to access financial freedom during the worst 18 months that the world has maybe
seen like in my lifetime, yeah.
Right.
And this, I've never seen like an opportunity like this. I mean, I've seen opportunities in my lifetime, and when I've been down before, I've kicked myself harder than I guess some others, because I always said, you know, if I was in the Philippines, I could say, oh, but it's my country. Oh, you know, it's my economic surroundings, or it's my family, or it's this. But I mean, I had access to the best technology, the best minds, the best experiences, the best economy. You know, I'm a privileged white male in one of the most affluent countries in the world, and yet I struggled. And that really, really hurts your self-worth when you have everything and you're still not able. And that is where the mindset really, really comes into play. And I'm not just talking about posting a meme on social media. There are too many people out there that say, be happy. And if you post an image, all of a sudden you're going to be happy. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's the whole purpose of our core values. And if you look at our core values, be positive. It's there for a reason. Okay? The reason is because it is always going to be possible to look at the negative. The negative will always be there. But so will the positive. You get to choose. That's the power.
This is it. And that's a really good point you've just made, is choice. Now, I don't know how much our members know about, you know, your history, your past, but you've gone through some serious struggles in your past. You've had some tough times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share everything. I mean, the worst ones when I look in a mirror. I mean, that's horrific.
So, I mean, do you want to choose like just one example of a tough time where you could have chosen to give up, you know?
Yeah, of course. I think the one that springs to mind for me right now is I was homeless. I was living in a car because I couldn't afford to live anywhere else. And I'd borrowed a car from my stepmom, which I was sleeping in. And I woke up one day. And I woke up because, and this is so hard to explain because unless you've experienced this, it's very hard to relate. But I woke up delirious. And I was delirious because if you've ever heard a story about a dog being trapped in a car on a hot day, then you'll know how dangerous that can be. So I was in a car on a hot day, and it surprised me. You know, we were in the UK. Nobody expects a hot day in the UK. But it was a hot day, and I couldn't breathe. And I don't even know how I woke up. But I woke up, and I went... And here's the thing. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you do when you wake up is you breathe. You don't even realize it. You do it subconsciously. So if you were to wake up and not be able to breathe because there was no oxygen, you would panic. And that's what I did. I panicked. I absolutely panicked. And in that moment of panic, I could not open the car door. There was no oxygen in the car. It was hot. I was delirious. I was panicking. I couldn't breathe. And I don't even know. I should have died in that car. I should have. But I somehow managed to get the car door open and just fall into the gutter on the curb on the side of the road. People were walking past the car. I must have looked like an absolute mess. And at that point, I was ready to give up. I was like, why did I not just die? Why did I save myself? Well,
why
because
didn't you? What
I am
was the voice?
Stubborn donkey. And I refuse to quit. And the thing is, we all go through moments that are difficult. We all have them. We all want to give up. We all have moments. And that's just one example. I mean, I've been through a lot in my life where I've, considered giving up. But it's a choice. This goes back to it being a choice. You choose what to do. You choose to give up or you choose to fight. I refuse. I refuse to give up. I won't do it. I would rather struggle and survive struggling than to just give up. It's just not in my DNA. I can't do it.
And we are all so blessed that you didn't give up, because from living in your car and being in the most, what some people would say, dire, hopeless situation, you are now sitting here telling the story with, over 2,000 members, with an amazing community that you built, where you're helping so many other people.
Absolutely. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago, I was £100,000 in debt, which convert that into Philippine money, that was like, what, 1.5 million pesos? No, it must have been more than that.
I can't do that kind of math.
I don't even know how much it would have been. It was a lot. I know it was a lot.
Right.
So I think...
sorry, carry on.
No, I think I was just working it out. It was... Oh, no, sorry. It was nearly 7 million pesos. I was about 7 million pesos in debt. So to be able to go from 7 million pesos in debt to clearing off that debt in its entirety to then being 7 million pesos in profit and using that profit to help others get out of that situation, that's why I love this so much.
So I think this story is the perfect example of, when you are going through something and it feels like the worst situation you could ever experience, you don't know what's around the corner.
Nope.
You may not know why you have to get through it and why it's important that you find a way to overcome. But the answer is coming. Maybe if Steve hadn't had those, really hard experiences, he wouldn't have found it in his heart to want to help this many people now, and we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yep, it's true.
So sometimes, I don't want to use the cliche things happen for a reason, because
they do.
Life can be really hard, and I don't want to diminish what people are going through. But the point I'm trying to make is that you don't know why you're going through something until you find out down the line.
Yep.
And it all clicks and it all starts making sense. Because whatever you've gone through, you are learning from it, you are growing from it, and it's going to become something. We just don't know it at the time.
This is so true. So true. And I learned this a long time ago because... And I just want to share a really quick example because you've just reminded me of something. I used to be in a car with my dad or my stepdad, either one, because they were both the same, and they would get road rage really badly, and they would shout at other drivers, and they would get angry, and I would always say, "Why are you getting angry? Like, that person can't even hear you. They're in a different car. The only person you're affecting right now is yourself and the people in the car with you. Why stress? What's the point?" And what it allowed me to do when I drove was, if I ever took a wrong turn, and this was a really powerful moment for me. If you ever take a wrong turn in a car, on a bike, whatever, in life, whatever the metaphor, but I'm just going to use the car as an example. Imagine if that wrong turn wasn't wrong. All right? It might not have been the way you wanted to go, but if you trust the process, everything happens for a reason. Maybe you went the wrong way and it stopped an accident that would have happened, or it allowed you to see something you wouldn't have seen, or it delayed, or it sped up the journey, or it did something that had a knock-on effect that you otherwise wouldn't have known about. And that to me is about just trust the process, and just everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. And I know that's easy to say, and it's, sometimes it's not easy to believe or to apply. But it is. I mean, I can see the members commenting here. Trust the process. When one door closes, another opportunity opens.
That's right.
That's exactly it. And coming back to the point of choice, there's a lot of people, and I'm sure we've both done this, Steve. When something happens, you want to blame someone. Yes. You want to say, "Oh, my boss. It's my boss's fault. He could have not fired me, but he fired me. My partner broke up with me, and now I'm depressed because they broke up with me." And it's the blame game. We would rather not take responsibility for what is happening in our life. But that's, to me, disrespecting yourself.
Yes.
If you choose to give the power of your own life to someone else, whether it's for the good things or the bad things, you're just disrespecting yourself. If something happens, own it. Yes, maybe it wasn't your fault. Maybe life wasn't fair. So
I
what?
love this.
Bad things happen to good people every single day. So now what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there and complain? Okay, sit and complain. How do you feel now? Is that better for you? No. So, I heard a really good saying the other day. And it's that if you're not changing, no, what was it? If you're not changing, you are choosing.
If you're not
If you are not choosing, if you are not choosing to change, you are choosing to stay where you are.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And I think that's really powerful. If you are not making the choice to improve your situation in some way, you're choosing it.
Yep. It's your choice. You have a choice. Everyone has a choice. Whether you choose to blame or to complain or to make a difference or to take action, you choose.
Exactly.
Everybody has. The choice is the one thing that nobody can take away from you.
Correct.
Someone could chop off your arms and legs. You can still choose how you react to that situation.
Yes.
It
can be a hard choice. It can be a really hard choice. You can say, well, I can't, leave my job. I have bills to pay. Well, yes, you can still choose to leave your job. I hate my job, but I have to stay in it. How many people on this chat room have said those words in the past? I really don't like my job, but I have no choice. I have to stay. I'm really unhappy in my relationship, but I have no choice.
They're dangerous words. I have no choice. That's so dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So, if there is any situation, I don't care how big or small it is, the choice is always there. Whether it's what you're choosing to eat for breakfast, or whether you're choosing to go move to a different country, or whether you're choosing to start a new relationship, or read a book, or what you're going to, whatever it is, whether you're going to start going to the gym today or tomorrow.
This is actually, do you know what? This is really good. And I want to just touch on something, because you've just absolutely nailed our first core value, which is be respectful. Be respectful for yourself. The first step of change, the first step of any change that anyone makes is first, you have to accept where you are. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's not about making it worse than it is, but accept it for what it is. Okay? You have to accept it for what it is, and you cannot blame anybody else. Oh, I'm here. I lost my job, because of COVID. No, it's not because of COVID. You lost your job because you hadn't financially supported yourself or created opportunity to survive. Like, you have to accept responsibility, and this is just a bit of tough love now, because I think people need this. It's
Even easy. I believe in tough love, guys. We're heavy on the tough love sometimes.
It is easy. It is so easy to blame and to pass ownership, to say it's not my fault, it's not my responsibility, it's because of this or because of that. You have to understand that you have a choice to blame or to accept. And you have a choice to do something or nothing. And this is why we say be respectful to yourself first. Okay, you have to take ownership. It's not about beating yourself up, but it's about saying, do you know what? Okay, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the resources. I don't have the, whatever it might be. I don't have the Axie. I don't have whatever. But what can I do to change that? What choices can I make to impact me moving forward so it's different to how it was before? And the thing that I want you to remember, the most important thing here with all of this, is that you have a choice. You all have a choice. The fact that you're here watching right now, this is a choice. Because when you are feeling depressed or sad or down, the easiest thing to do is not always the right thing to do. Because often the easiest thing to do is to escape. For a long time, I thought I suffered from addiction because I thought I was addicted to gambling, to gaming, to all of the things, where actually my problem was if addicted to anything, it was escapism. It was running away from reality and not dealing with my problems. And we've said this before, chat, and I'm just going to mention it before and then I'll be quiet. Problems are only problems if you let them become problems. Remember, we don't have problems, we have challenges. Because you can deal with a challenge. Challenges are exciting. You know, this is a challenge. This is an obstacle course. It's a challenge. It's something to get over. A problem, oh, that can be big. That can be overwhelming.
Yeah, that feels heavy already.
That's
the moment
already
you
like,
say the
oh
word
God,
problem.
it's such a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. But you see, we don't have problems, we have challenges. Because a problem is only a problem when it is bigger than you. If you remain bigger than your problems, then they're never going to be problems that bother you. They're just things that need to be done. It's called a to-do list. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop ranting and waffling now, but I'm so passionate about this because I've been through that rough side of this, and I know when I was there at my worst, with my mindset where it was, I wouldn't listen to anyone. And I worry that us sharing this information now that people need to hear, I worry that it kind of falls on deaf ears and people don't hear it.
I mean, hopefully people are listening and they keep the recording and they listen to it over and over again. But guys, I want to make it clear that us talking about, choices and, action, this is not diminishing anything that you might be going through. We acknowledge that what you're going through is very real. We are not saying it's not difficult. We know these are tough times. The reason why we're being so tough about this is, Steve and I, we've had some struggles. We know, we've been there. We haven't always handled things in the best way. And sometimes you need someone to be that tough, asshole, really, that says, hey, get up. This is not okay. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You need to take action. We have been that person for each other.
Yes.
And we have gotten into fights about it.
Yep.
But
Shayla's always won.
But we wouldn't be here if
I love and respect you so much for it, because you are an incredibly strong and powerful woman, and I respect you because you stand your ground and you don't take shit. And you need to have that, because here's the thing, right? If you want to be a real friend, a true friend to somebody, don't tell them what they want to hear. Tell them what they need to hear.
Yes.
There's a big difference. That's the difference between a people pleaser and a true friend.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that. And
I'm not afraid to tell Fitzy that he's not very good at Warzone, because he needs to hear it.
Oh, Fitzy, we love you. Don't listen
love
to
you,
that.
Fitzy, and I'm only playing, buddy. You're better than me.
Guys, come on. We need to see some comments coming up in Fitzy's defense here. No one? Oh, there we go. So, right, moving slightly on from the tough love.
Yes.
Right? We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about owning and being accountable for your choices. So now, if you are in that spiral, right? So what are the steps that you can take? You've talked a little bit about, perspective, about seeing things as a challenge rather than a problem. And I think that's really important. Is the glass half full or half empty? Is the cliche for that one. But I think that's step number 2. Because before you think of the glass half full or half empty, for me, I want to be grateful that I have a glass to begin with.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
It's the gratitude. I think it's very difficult to be really miserable about your own situation when you are able to find gratitude in something. When everything is going great, it's easy. When you have the perfect job and the perfect boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, a great house, lots of money, if everything is going well, every day you wake up, you're automatically grateful, or, hopefully you are, and you're walking around with your, chest up front, your chin held high, and then suddenly things start to crumble. and you've lost your job and now you have no money and your partner leaves you and you can't afford the house payment, so you lose your house, and things just start, all the bad stuff starts happening. And I think the instinct for a lot of us is to forget to still look for the good that's left.
Yes.
And we forget to be grateful for what we still have. We forget to be grateful for maybe your partner left, but you still have these friends that really have your back and are still supporting you. You maybe don't have your own beautiful house that you had, but maybe someone's offered you their spare room and you still have a roof over your head, or a car that someone's lent you. Not the best situation, but maybe better than, what it could be. There's, the fact that you've woken up and you're breathing, where some other people don't have that opportunity. You've woken up, it's a new day. It's a day to still, you have the opportunity. If you've woken up and you're breathing, you have the opportunity to make things better. It's a new day.
Chat, I want you to do something right now. Chat, I want you to do something, right? Don't worry where you are. It doesn't matter who's around you. I want you to do something, right? I want you to do it right now. I want you to put your hands above your head and push up. Put your hands above your head and push up. Do it now. Do it now. Okay? I learnt this once in a talk. All right? A guy on stage in front of 1,000 people got everybody to do this. And he said, if you can wake up and do that, then it's a good day. Because every day you're not in a coffin is a good day. If you do that and you don't feel the lid of the coffin, it's a good day. Obviously, if you're a vampire, this is not going to work. But assuming you're not, every day above ground is a good day. Okay? Right. We're not in a coffin. We're not done yet. There's always hope. There's always chance. And you're absolutely right in what you're saying. You're absolutely right in what you're saying. We've always got a choice.
We've always got a choice. We've always got the chance to see things with hope and with gratitude. Yeah, and gratitude can come in the smallest things. You don't have to find, winning the lottery. You don't have to wait for that to find gratitude in your life. Every single one of us can be grateful for something. And that's something a lot of the members that have spoken to me on DM will know. This is an exercise I give a lot of people. If you're feeling down about life, make a list. Make a list either every single night or every single morning as soon as you wake up of the things you are grateful for. I do that. Yes. I do that every day.
I do that too. And by the way, gratitude was always a really hard thing for me to grasp. Like, I would listen to maybe Tony Robbins or something, and he would say, be grateful. And I'd be like, but I'm not grateful. Like, I'm grateful for nothing. It's so hard when you're in that place to not be able to find it. It'd be like, focus on your family, focus on your children. And I was like, I'm not grateful for anything or anyone. Like, when I was down, I wasn't feeling grateful.
Yeah.
But
it's cloud. It's a dark cloud when you're in depression. It's hard.
It really, really is. But you can start. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I've got water, that I can drink water. I'm grateful that I've got internet access, that I can distract myself. I'm grateful that I can be part of this community. I'm grateful that I took action and I made the choice to submit my application form. And I'm grateful that even though I've got to wait and I don't want to, I'm grateful that Steve and the team are doing everything they can to get me my Axie as soon as possible. There are things you can be grateful for.
That's right.
Always things you can be grateful for.
Always. So I think, I think that's step one. Find gratitude wherever you can.
Absolutely.
And step two is, finding that perspective. Once you have a little bit of gratitude, you kind of start opening that window into being able to allow a little bit more positive feeling into your life. And that's maybe when you're able to see some of your problems as not problems. You start to see them as challenges. And once you set yourself a challenge, that's when you start getting ready to take action. Because when you change your problem into a challenge, the challenge becomes, how can I overcome this? And then your brain clicks into gear and starts thinking of solutions. So, mindset is a powerful thing, and those little things I think can make a lot of difference. So, yeah, that's the mindset part.
What about? Do you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And chat, if you see the screen flickering, we know that there's a challenge with the internet connection. Try not to focus on it. Listen to the words because the audio is clear. And as much as Shayla is absolutely beautiful and we all want to see her, I know that there might be a bit of stuttering on the screen. So just focus on the words.
Sorry about that.
And if you need to, close your eyes and listen to this because it's the audio that's important. It's really important that you listen to this because when you're grateful, you can't be angry. It's not possible to have an emotion of fear or anger whilst you're in gratitude. It's not possible. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? You're either angry or you're grateful. You're either scared or you're grateful. You can't be both at the same time. Which is why the more you practice gratitude, exactly what Shayla is saying, the more you practice it, like anything, it's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets, the easier it becomes. And when times are challenging, it is easier to be able to call upon that gratitude when you need it.
Francis
That's
Oscar
exactly
Magtito
right,
sent
Steve.
20 stars.
Guys,
Thank
I'm
you
so
for the
sorry if
content,
my
sir.
video
My fellow
connection
men
is
need
not the
this.
best quality. Here in Thailand, when there is a storm, I don't know if you guys get this in the Philippines as well, but when we have bad weather, the internet plays all sorts of fun games. So we've got some serious weather happening right now. So I think that's what's happening. So apologies for that.
Do you know what? We can hear you perfectly, so it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
Good. So now that we've gone, I'm conscious we're spending a lot of time on this question, but I think it's a really important one and one that's hopefully resonating with a lot of people. I can see through the comments that, a lot of very interesting and Fitzy has sent in.
I know. I'm thinking. So I'm gonna read this out. I think in a minute. What we'll do, I'm gonna save it for now because I'll read it in a minute. And the reason I'll do it is if your connection cuts out to the point that we lose you.
Okay.
I'll use that as a filler while we get you back.
Okay. So carrying on with the topic, we've gone into mindset. And then I think I've seen a couple of questions. Okay, we've got the right mindset. What can we actually do in terms of action? What can we do practically to keep a healthy mindset, to, keep depression at bay? And I think, there's like the most basic thing, drink your water. I know that sounds really silly, but your nutrition, your water intake, if you are depressed, and guys, I learned this from Steve, if you are depressed, you are most likely dehydrated because you stop looking after yourself physically, at least to some extent. And the first thing that goes, sometimes it's showers, take your bath. But a lot of time you forget to drink water. You forget to acknowledge that you're thirsty and look after that most basic need. So as silly as it sounds for me to say drink water, drink your water. Nutrition is so important because what you eat, the fuel that you put in yourself, if you eat junk and you eat loads of sugar, that sends all the signals to your brain that makes you feel good for maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And then you crash. And when you crash lower than what you were before. So all you're doing is you're feeling, you know what? I always compare it to, getting a flat tire. And rather than fixing it properly so it works, you get a little pump. You get a little bicycle pump for your car. And you put a little bit of air into it. So your tire can turn maybe 5 times. And then it flattens again. So you go back with a little bit more of a tiny pump and your tire turns a few more times, but you're not fixing it. You're making it feel better for a few minutes, an hour, and then it all goes downhill. So for me, one of the most important things for me to keep my depression and anxiety controlled is to be really careful with my water, my nutrition, I challenge every single person on chat to cut down their sugar and drink more water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that.
At
Tell me
least
how you feel in a week.
minimum 2 liters of water a day. Minimum 2 liters
Every
of water a
single
day.
person
Minimum.
on this chat, drink an extra 2 glasses of water a day and cut your sugar down by half and tell me how you feel in a week.
Yeah. And you're going to feel like crap when you start because you're going to have, like everybody has, withdrawal symptoms from sugar. Because sugar's an addiction. It's like a drug. And you search for that quick hit. But water, look, here's the thing. Water is the easiest thing you can do. There is nothing easier right now than having a glass or a jug or anything of water. Want a cup of tea? Have some water. Want some Pepsi? Have some water. Just replace coffee with water. Even Fitzy can do this. Because the thing is, if you have your coffee, you have to think of the stimulants in it. Your energy drinks. I see so many streamers promoting like Red Bull and Monster, and I'm like, that stuff is trash. I would never put that in my body. It's just pure sugar in a can. Like, I wouldn't touch it. I have 1 cup of tea a day with 1 sugar. That's my sugar intake. And yeah, I get sugar from fruit. I get that. Because here's the other thing. You think fruit's healthy? You can overdose on sugar through fruit. Like, you have to be aware. But look, here's the thing, and I need to stress this. This isn't about removing luxuries and pleasures from your life. If you enjoy coffee, drink coffee. Like, this is what I said. People used to turn around to me that smoked and go, oh, I hate smoking. Well, don't do it. Like, if you're going to smoke, enjoy it. Otherwise, why are you paying so much money for cigarettes and putting that in your body? Like, I don't care if you smoke, but if you smoke, don't then moan about smoking. Like, if you're going to do it, at least enjoy it. Like, if you're going to have sugar or you're going to have coffee, enjoy it. Like Fitzy says, it tastes so good, then that's fine. Like, it's not about living a life that you don't enjoy. Okay, happiness has to come. And this is a really interesting topic because I'm in a situation right now where I have my granddad who is elderly and not well. And he got put into a care home because he fell over. And that care home, he was misdiagnosed with dementia. So he is in a care home right now. Because of COVID, he couldn't get out. He was trapped in there. He does not have dementia, but he's in a care home with dementia patients. And he hates it. It is... And so I said, look, I will get you out. I'll literally just come with me now. And he was like, no, I can't. And he was confused and it was difficult. It was because of the fall when he hit his head. That was the confusion that caused the misdiagnosis. Now, what I learned, and I sent a long email and I had a lot of conversations about this. And what I learned is, look, my granddad's health is important. Like, I want him to be healthy, but not at the cost of his happiness. If you have a choice in life, do you want to have a long, healthy life where you're not happy, or a short, happy life where you're not healthy? Like, if you had to choose, what would you choose if you could only pick one? Would you pick health or happiness? And I'm sorry, but after doing a lot of soul searching, I can tell you right now that happiness has to come first.
I think we could do a whole other episode on that topic alone, Steve.
I think so. That's just my opinion. You have to be happy. But if you can look past the now, the current moment, when you're sipping your coffee or you're eating your sugar, whatever you're doing, your sugar cubes, because you're a horse or I don't know, whatever reason, like you decide to eat just pure sugar. If you can look to the future and think, how am I going to feel? How is my body going to thank me for this in 10, 20 years' time? Because that's the point when you start to struggle, when your organs start to shut down, when you start to get cancers and tumors, and when you start to get problems that you have to deal with. You're on borrowed time. The whole purpose of being healthy now is to prolong and extend your life to the best possible quality that you can, so that you're happier for longer. Because nobody's happy when they're in pain. Nobody's happy when they're suffering. And we all get old. It's the only thing we can be certain in life. Aside from tax, the only other certainty is death. So we will get old and we will get frail and our bodies will shut down. But you can tell right now the difference between someone who is obese and someone who is in shape. You can tell the quality of their life just by looking at the choices that they make. Because they took responsibility, because they did not blame. It's not, oh, it's not my fault. I just can't stop my arm. It's a choice, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Shayla, are you still there? You were cutting out a little bit there. I don't know if you can hear me.
I'm here.
You're back.
I'm here,
You look.
yeah.
I don't know if the weather's calmed down, but you're crystal clear now. We had a
Amazing.
whole crazy retro moment there where the screen went mad. It was a
Oh no, I'm here. I can hear you.
perfect. So, what do you think for the community? Because we've said drinking water is important. What are other things that you think that our members can do to look after themselves? Simple things they can do.
So like I said, water, nutrition. I think moving, just
Yes.
movement is
Movement.
essential. I'm not talking about, you don't have to go and lift 100 kilo weights. You don't have to run marathons. Just get up and move. If I don't know what the restrictions are at the moment, if you can go outside and get some sunlight every day, do it. Do it safely, but do it. If you can move, if you can't go outside and go for a run, jump up and down in your living room. Get up, go for a walk your dog, take your kids for a walk. Whatever you can do, just move. Because every time you move, it sends the right signals to your brain. It tells your brain to be happy. You know, you get your endorphins going. It's important. And again, it sounds really simple, and it doesn't have to be a major gym work. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, I can't go to the gym at the moment. The gyms are closed, or you know, COVID." And you know, one of our members, I hope you're still doing this. I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. You know, we've got one of our members running up and down the stairs at his home and doing some burpees and some dumbbells because he had those at home. And he's doing those every day, or he's supposed to anyway. We're going to talk about this. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but move. So, you know, that's another thing.
While you're talking about moving, can I just add one point? Because you've just hit an absolute gem that I think I don't want people to miss this. So, chat. What I'm going to do right now, just very, very quickly, and I want you to understand this because this is absolute key. Okay, water, without a doubt, crucial to your mental clarity. And here's the thing: if you look at any professional esports player, they all drink water. Being hydrated gives you a clarity that gives you an edge above your competition. And in the competitive environment, if you're playing Axie and you're trying to raise your MMR, being hydrated is one of the things that you can do to give yourself an advantage in the game. It's not just about the cards you get. It's about, are you tired? It's about, are you overextending? Are you thinking clearly to make that right decision? But here's the thing. We talked about depression earlier and about feeling depressed. Like, if I was to turn around to you right now and I was to be slumped over, looking down, talking like this, would you say I was happy or depressed right now? Just based on my body. Like, what would you say if you were looking at me on the camera right now? Just, I don't know. Would you say I was happy? Or would you say I was depressed? And then, if I was to sit up with my shoulders back, looking up, talking more confidently, how about now? Do I look like someone that's depressed right now? Would you say I was happy right now, or would you say I was depressed? Like, if I had the choice to give you two different people, one slumped over and one shoulders back, it's those little things in your physiology that make a difference. A depressed person is going to be slumped. They're going to have their shoulders down. They're going to be talking quietly. They're going to have their head down. Someone who is not depressed is going to have their chest out. They're going to have their shoulders back. They're going to be talking confidently, looking up, making eye contact. These are the choices that you can make in your physiology. And if you are feeling depressed, if you're sitting in a chair and you notice it and you catch yourself and you're like slumped over, go, do you know what? I'm going to get up and go for a walk. Either into another room or into another building or around the block, wherever it is, but just to break that cycle. Because that's the key. If you want to change, the first thing you need to do is you need to break the habit.
That's right.
Change what happens. So if you feel depressed because you do a certain thing, if you sit on social media, if you sit on Facebook all day and then you go, oh God, I'm so depressed. Maybe don't sit on social media all day. Like maybe that's the start. Maybe that's the first habit to break. When you catch yourself on social media, obviously not for this stream, tune in for this, but otherwise, maybe put the phone down and say, do you know what? Actually, I'm just going to go for a walk around the block. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to go for a walk.
That's right. That's right. Spot on, Steve. I think, we've gone through the nutrition, we've gone through the movement. I think there's just two more points off the top of my head that I would encourage people to try. One of them is look around your space, look around your room. Are there clothes everywhere? Are there dishes piling up in the sink? Is it a mess? Because that's probably a reflection of what's going on in your mind. If you've got a really messy space, it's hard to feel happy.
Absolutely.
Right. This is a perfect example. How would you guys feel? Chat. Answer me this. If you saw this right now and there were 7 plates all over the desk with half-eaten sandwiches, there were Steve's, dirty clothes hanging over the screens, and just paper and crap there you go. Like straight away when you see that, is this really, someone that reflects, that they're organized, that they're on it, that they know where they're going, that they have their goals right in their mind? Or would you maybe go to a different manager? Because this guy, I don't know if I want to trust him right now. He doesn't seem, oh my God. Steve, you're actually giving me anxiety just from watching your space.
It's so true. I'm giving myself anxiety. I have to clear these up. I'll be right back.
But I think that makes the perfect point. Right now, wherever you're sitting, look around your space. How does it make you feel? Do you have clothes and books and, stuff all over the place that maybe you don't need, that you can declutter, that you can organize, get rid of? Make your space healthy so that it reflects what goes on in your head, is the point I'm trying to make. While Steve quickly clears up his messy desk.
Oh, look, the irony. I found the Joker. This is also why sometimes, now I'm not saying this is the answer, but sometimes it helps to have what I call a man drawer. And a man drawer is just a little drawer where you can put everything in.
I don't know if I like this man drawer.
I do. I like, so there's a saying, out of sight, out of mind. And I don't agree that you should have mess hidden, but it could be a case of what Shayla's saying, and this is right. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? The answer should be make your bed. Because there's a great saying in the army that if you make your bed, even if you have a shit day, if you have a terrible day, at least at the end of the day, you can come home to a bed that's made.
Yes.
And also, that's a small win. You've accomplished something. The first task of the day is complete. The bed is made. All a day is just a series of tasks that are completed. So now you've completed the first task, you've got momentum. So what's the second task? get a glass of water, brush your teeth, whatever it might be. They're small wins. And if you count those small wins, look, there's a saying here in the UK, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Okay? Focus on the minutes and don't worry about the hours. It's what you do in the moments. It's the decisions you make, the choices you make. I'm not worried about bringing on 1,500 or 2,000 scholars. I'm focused on the next scholar.
Yes.
Because one at a time. You build a brick wall, a brick at a time. Softy, softy, catchy monkey. All that good stuff.
I love that
tidy
saying.
now. I'm much better now. I was giving myself anxiety for a moment.
I mean,
have to have a clean
feel better
space.
about the situation now as well, Steve. You were stressing me out a little bit. So yes, everyone, nutrition, movement, clear your room, declutter it, get your space organized. And I think the last one, Steve, you might have more, but the last big one for me is no matter what you're going through, try to find time in your day to do one little or big act of kindness. Because it's really, really hard to feel miserable about your life when you're able to make someone else smile. It gives you a sense of worth. It gives you a sense of worth. And, I know what I'm saying. It sounds, in a way, I'm saying be kind to other people for selfish reasons. But I don't think it matters why you're kind to people as long as you're being kind to people. Do a random act. It could be as simple as seeing, someone that's got a nice dress on and saying, hey, that looks really nice on you today. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It doesn't mean you have to spend money to buy anything for anyone. It can just be
opening a door for somebody or
helping someone with the shopping. If you see someone carrying heavy shopping. Steve, you do this all the time in London. I know. I don't know if in COVID you're allowed to anymore, but I remember Steve would, anytime someone was carrying shopping or heavy bags or a pram with a baby upstairs from the tube, he was the first person to rush over and help these people get up the stairs. It's just things like that. And, sometimes the bags were a bit too heavy for Steve and he wasn't prepared, but he got through it.
It's true. That was when Shayla had to take them.
But my point is, if you do something nice and you see that you've put a smile on someone's face, it's really hard to, give into those feelings of I'm so worthless and I'm hopeless. And, it gives you a little positivity in your day.
And I want to add to that there's a caveat here, because I've seen over the years, people take this intention of doing good and use it for social praise. When you do an act of kindness, it has to be done without expectation. You are not expecting a thank you. You are not expecting somebody to appreciate or applaud or to acknowledge you.
It's not for your Instagram post.
It's not for social media post. It's not like, oh, here's £5 to a homeless person. Can I take a photo with you? It's not for that. Exactly. It has to be selfless. It has to be more than you, above and beyond it's not about you. And the only way you can really feel good is when you can so we do a thing once a year called the Basket Brigade, which in the UK and as well as in America as well, we would do charity events throughout the year, and we would raise money to buy Christmas hampers that we would give to people who were less fortunate. And what we would do is we would give them to people, but we would knock on their door and we would say, we're the delivery driver. And we wouldn't tell them that we made it, and they would be, who's this from? And we'd be like, I don't know, it's for you. And we would walk away. And I questioned one of the organizers once, and I said, but I really want to see their reaction. And the story that was given to me in the analogy, which is a great one, is that you can go to a firework display and you can watch these incredible, amazing fireworks, and they're beautiful, and you can enjoy it and you can have a good time. And the next year, the organizer invites you back and says, hey, how would you like to light the fireworks? How would you like to go underground to where all the fireworks are before they get lit and light the fuse that sets them all off. But in doing that, you miss the display. Now, would you do it? Would you light the fuse to set off all the fireworks, knowing that everybody else can enjoy them, but you won't? So where do you get your joy in that moment? You get your joy knowing that you made that happen.
Yeah.
You don't need everyone to say thank you. You don't need to get applause or appreciation. You don't need to tell anyone about it. The best acts of kindness are the ones that only you know about. The ones that you do on your own. And I just want you to understand that, because some people, they get caught up. And you have to understand why you're doing it.
Absolutely. That's
it's
such
about
a good
the
point.
gratitude, and the gratitude doesn't come from social media posts. The gratitude comes from those moments of meditation when you're reliving and thinking, I can sleep well tonight in my bed that I made this morning because I feel good.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's, very good point. So yeah, action points: nutrition, water, movement, declutter your space, act of kindness for someone without expecting anything in return. I think if you follow just a bit of what we've talked about today, you're already on your way to getting to a better place.
Absolutely. If you do just one thing on that list, one thing that you didn't do yesterday, if you do one thing today on that list that you didn't do yesterday, you're already making a choice to be a better person, to have a better life.
That's it. All about these choices, people. All about the choices.
Wow. Miss Shayla, you are just a wealth of goodness, just wrapped up in a beautiful little ball of knowledge and insights. And look, chat, I hope this makes sense to you. You know, we could sit here all day and just bang on and on and on about the same point, but it's quite simple. Drink water. Simple exercise, just movement. You don't have to go for a run. You don't have to go down a gym. You can just walk around the block. You can walk around your room, but just move. Acts of kindness. Okay, do we have, in fact, Fitzy, do we have a list? Can we go through them, Shayla, one more time? Fitzy, can we post this as a list? I think people need to have this. So, let's think. What do we start from? What was number one?
What was number one on the action points?
Yes.
The nutrition?
Nutrition.
So nutrition. So we're talking about, drink your water, reduce your sugar, make smart choices with your food.
Perfect. Number
that
two?
Would be number two. Move.
Move, Fitzy.
Just
get
move.
that pen. Write this list. No, Fitzy, I love you, Fitzy. I do. I'm going to talk about, we're going to go through questions in a minute, chat. We are. So number two, move.
Move. Number three, organize your space, declutter, whatever you want to call it. And number four, do an act of kindness.
There you go, chat. Easy things that we can do. Hashtag Shayla for the win. Everybody in the chat at the moment. Hashtag Shayla FTW. I'm seeing it everywhere.
Oh, I'm seeing it. Oh, you guys are the best.
I want to say
so
thank
funny.
you because, like, you know that you're incredible, and I love you to bits for what you're doing. Do you have some time just to go through a few questions?
Of course, I have all the time in the world for you guys.
Right, I'm gonna start with Fitzy's because it's not a question, but it's more of an experience that he went through. So I'm just going to share this very quickly. So Fitzy said, once upon a time during one of the coldest winters in the UK, this is like a story. I like the fact that it starts once upon a time. I feel like I need a cup of cocoa. Once upon a time, during one of the coldest winters in the UK at 3 a.m., I lay down on a hard concrete, body shivering and shaking, at a total loss in life. I smoked my last cigarette as I lay there, staring at the sky, and I made a decision. This was going to be my last night on Earth. As I started to lose the feeling in my body, things started to stop shaking. I felt weaker, more faint. Perhaps 45 minutes later, and I was ready to die. Question, popped into my head. But what if it gets better? The problem is, I didn't know what better looked like. I knew what bad looked like. So what if it could be better than this moment right now? That's worth sticking around for, right? The events that led me in that moment aren't important. But what is important is that I went from having absolutely zero money, no love, no career, no health, to just a few years later, living in a wealthy part of Oxford, having loads of toys and gadgets, great friendships, great family, an amazing partner. It was a process. I nearly killed myself because I didn't give myself the opportunity to find out how good it can get. Always ask yourself, what if it gets better? Wow, Fitzy, I did not know you had that in you. Why are you not writing more content for us?
Wow.
That was
is
beautiful,
so
mate. That was beautiful. Hashtag
Absolutely.
Fitzy. I think we need some Fitzy love in the comments there. And it's true, like, the people that are the kindest are normally the ones that have struggled the most. Because they know.
Yeah.
Because they understand. Because they've been there. So I'm going to just wrap up now with a few questions. So Saud has said, how do I balance work, study, and taking care of my family?
Okay.
How would you balance time, Shayla?
Okay. Well, first of all, before I answer that question, can I very quickly say thank you to Fitzy, because that took a lot of guts sharing such a personal, powerful story.
I agree.
On a public stream.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Fitzy.
Yeah. Thank you. How do you balance work, study, and taking care of your family? First of all, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate you for being what sounds like who did you say that is this a woman, a man? I didn't hear
it's Saud Kadir. Saud Kadir.
Okay, well, whoever you are, you sound like a superhero of a human. If you're working and studying and looking after your family, it's never easy, balancing things, balancing your time. I would say the main thing is, and this is going to sound selfish, but I hope you'll understand why I'm saying this. You cannot be there for other people unless you're there for yourself first.
Yes.
If you are not looking after yourself and you go downhill and you go into a burnout, you physically won't be able to help your family even if you want to. So I would say, figure out your priorities of how much you're able to do. I presume that you are working to be able to support yourself while you're studying, and that is an amazing thing to do. I'm not going to say don't focus on your family, because obviously that's important, but do what you need to do for yourself first.
Yes. Yeah,
in the middle
totally
of
agree.
all what you're saying, in the middle of all the things that you need to do, try to find what may feel like impossible time to look after yourself. Would you agree with that, Steve?
I think that this just echoes everything that you've talked about today, where it is, you have, there's a saying that we have in the UK, because we drink cups of tea, and normally a British cup of tea is drunk from a teacup with a saucer. And so a saying that we have here is, never give from your cup, only your saucer. Meaning that you need to be overflowing. You can't give people money if you're broke. You can't give people happiness if you're sad. Like, you have to have an abundance of what you're trying to give. So you have to fill yourself up first. So we all have 24 hours in a day. No one's special. No one's different. Time is time. I would ask yourself, where can you leverage time? Where can you work smarter rather than harder? And what can you do to assist you? Maybe it's saying to your family, hey, I feel really pressured right now. I'm trying so hard to support you, but I'm also trying to do this and to do that, and I feel a bit overwhelmed. I just, can we sit down and talk about this in a healthy way to find some processes to make it, better and easier?
Communicate, acknowledge that you're struggling, be honest with the people around you, and also look at your own structure of your own day. Is there maybe a way that you can organize your time better? Do you have a to-do list? Do you know what your day looks like? Or do you spend half of your day figuring out how to, what you're doing from hour to hour?
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this before. Write a list. Write a list. Get a piece of paper and a pen, or your computer or phone or whatever you use, and write down all the things that you do on a daily basis that take time. And then work out which ones are important and which ones aren't.
That's it.
And then just organize your time better. What I do now, what I used to do, and this was a problem for me, is I used to put everything into a calendar and it used to, like, every day there used to be like automatic alerts. And I stopped them because all I was doing was snoozing them and ignoring them. And so I was educating myself and teaching myself to ignore alerts. So what I do now is, of a night before I go to bed, I set my calendar for the next day and I only look one day ahead. Obviously, if there's important tasks, they go in the calendar because there are things like appointments and meetings and things like that. But on a daily basis, what I'm doing the next day, my routines are pretty set. But I plan everything the night before so I can go to bed relaxed and I can wake up and I know what I've got to do. And maybe you can get up an hour earlier, when the family's still asleep, and you can have that time for yourself to have a workout, to eat breakfast, like whatever you eat breakfast with your family. How can you include things together? Maybe the family can help you with stuff. Like there's ways that you can do it, but yeah, definitely balance. You need balance.
And also be realistic about what you can achieve in a day. I think a lot of us put too much pressure on ourselves to try and do too much, and then we get to the end of the day and we haven't done everything we wanted to do, so we feel like we've let people down, and that just creates unnecessary extra pressure that you don't need. You're putting it on yourself, and just be kinder to yourself if you can.
I agree.
It sounds like a lot of pressure all around.
I agree, and I love that you started with the acknowledgement. That just shows your heart. I love that. Next question from Jason. Sitting for hours on my chair whilst editing can create some lower back pain. What can you recommend to ease the pain?
Move.
There it is. Pilates. Yoga. Movement.
So if you're experiencing back pain because you are sitting in your chair for a very long period of time, I know that you're editing, your work is important, no question, but take a little break. Make sure you get up off your chair at least every 30 minutes, every hour.
Here's the thing, every 60 minutes, go and get yourself a glass of water.
At least every hour you have to, and this goes for everyone in this chat, at least once an hour, get away from your screens, even if it's for 5 minutes. And walk.
I can tell you right now, every single day when I end the stream, as soon as I press that button, stop streaming, I go for a walk. I go and clear my head and decompress.
Right.
Every day.
Exactly. So that's the first thing. Now, if you're already experiencing back pain, like Steve said, Pilates is really good. Any gentle exercise that can help you strengthen and straighten.
Yeah.
Get my works out for a minute. Strength and straighten your back is always healthy. I wouldn't recommend that if you have never done Pilates before. I wouldn't recommend just going on YouTube and throwing yourself into it. You want to have a bit of direction from someone that understands the process, because your spine is important, so you want to be careful with it. But start by moving. If you know a Pilates or a yoga instructor in your area, maybe try to get some advice from them. But definitely try not to sit for so long, because you know what's causing the problem. This is the great thing. You know what the problem is. So try to do things that mean you don't, if you have the option, can you work maybe standing up? Can you put your computer on a desk that allows you to stand up for some of the day and switch it around a little bit?
Yeah, it's true. Standing desks.
Standing desks.
Hey, John, you found a stream through one of your scholars. Well, welcome, John. Welcome to the stream. We are we're focusing on health and fitness today. So for those of you that are just joining, this is Ma'am Shayla. It's Shayla, who is.
Don't call me ma'am, please.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Only because you said don't. No, she's part of the Discord community. She's part of the family, and she has been a instrumental figure of knowledge, wealth, kindness, compassion, just listening and advising and helping people to overcome some of the health and wellness challenges that they're facing. And so we've discussed it today on stream because it's important. Remember, this is people before profits, and so it's not just about making money. It's not just about Axie. It's about how can you create a better life for yourself and those around you. And so this is just one of those areas to focus on. So I think we have an important question from Fitzy here, who seems to be struggling because I don't know if he can. I don't even know if the answer is going to help him or not, because I think he's going to do what he's going to do anyway. But he says, how much coffee can you safely take in a day?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with it. I don't personally drink coffee. I'm allergic to coffee, so I can't touch the stuff. I think it really depends, what you're used to, what you've built up, your tolerance to caffeine that you've built up over the years. But I don't want to hazard a guess there personally, because I think we're bordering on medical advice. Fitzy's saying that wasn't me. There just wasn't a name to give. So
I'm using Fitzy as an example. But Ains also said, is it possible that your body could be made up of 90% coffee? I think your body could possibly. Fitzy's definitely is.
Yeah, if you start to feel weird effects from coffee, if you start to feel a bit shaky, like your thoughts are a bit, hard to control, if you're not sleeping properly, if it's disrupting your sleep, if it's disrupting your moods, I think you've definitely gone far, way too far in how much you're drinking. But I'm not sure, Steve.
Here's what I would say. Try once a day to replace one coffee with one glass of water once a day. Coffee is a drug. That's the facts. The simple fact is it's a legal drug. But like any drug, there's an up and a down. If you take a drug that everyone knows of and you look at something like cocaine, it's got an obvious, there's a high and then there's a crash. You look at anything, you look at alcohol, there's the good feeling of being drunk and then there's the hangover. There's always going to be, with any drug, there's going to be the high and the low. And coffee is no different. The caffeine buzz makes you feel awake, it makes you feel alert, it makes you feel good. But it's not sustainable, it's not organic to the body. And that sugar rush, that pump, that feeling that you get, it comes crashing down. What you don't want are the highs and lows. What you want to try and do is find balance. The key to health and well-being is balance. It's not about having all the money and no health. It's not about having all the health and no money. You need a balance. You need to have equal measure. So it's about having enough coffee that you feel good because you enjoy it, but not too much that it affects your physiology, your physical being.
That's it.
So definitely not 90%.
No. We don't want it 90% of your bloodstream.
I mean, I don't drink it. I love the smell of it. Don't drink it. But, I do drink alcohol. I like a beer and a glass of wine. I don't drink it every night. It's about moderation. Water's good for you, but too much and you'll drown. It's about moderation. I think we're going to lose half the chat if we focus on coffee, because we have some coffee sores in here who are going to...
I can see
they're going to turn on us. They're going to turn on us. So let's go to the next question. Next question. Please. Is it possible to take a bath in coffee? No, stop the chat. Stop this. Stop. No. Right. I only sleep 3 to 5 hours a night. This is from Arlan, by the way. I only sleep 3 to 5 hours a night, or a day, but I can totally function like 90%. Which is it? Can you totally function, or is it 90%? Okay. I only sleep 3 to 5 hours a day, but I can totally function 90%. Now I'm worrying that there would be some serious effects if I continue being like this. May I know your take on this, Miss Shayla?
Okay, absolutely. The first thing that's going through my head is, what is making you sleep 3 to 5 hours a day? I'm wondering whether your sleep is being disrupted in some way, or there's worries, or something is in the back of your mind.
Are you like naturally waking up and you feel refreshed, or
exactly? Yeah. Are you forcing yourself to only sleep 3 to are you setting an alarm so you only sleep that much and then you function because you have to, or do you genuinely feel refreshed? Because I think the answer would be very different depending on what the situation is there. But if you are, going to bed when you feel tired and you're waking up feeling, naturally without the alarm clock going off, and you feel refreshed and you can totally 90% function during your day, I would say that sounds potentially okay to me, but it doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit right with me. I personally feel like us as humans, as a species, you can do 3 to 5 hours a night for a short period of time, but eventually it needs to catch up with you,
Yeah.
So I would be looking into what is making you sleep so little and trying to extend your sleep to see if maybe you think you're functioning totally well, but you're actually really just coping. It's not you fully functioning, you're just dealing with it, but you're so used to it maybe that you don't realize it. And if you get some extra sleep, you might feel a little bit different.
I think that's a good point. And I've been in a similar situation where I've been on limited sleep. And for me, I suppose in hindsight, looking back now, mine was different though. Like the reason for me was because I would beat myself up. I would torture myself because I felt like I had low self-worth and I wasn't I felt worthless. And so I punished myself by not allowing myself to sleep and to rest. And I did it by staying up all night, scrolling through social media, playing games, whatever it would be. I did it as a way, and then I wouldn't be able to function. So I wasn't as good as that. I wasn't able to function. But what I learned by doing that is that anytime you deprive your body of at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep, you are having an effect on what is called your adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands and your lymphatic system is all of the lymph nodes. If you look up lymph nodes inside your body, you've got these, you've got lymph, and it is what carries a lot of the toxicity out of your veins. You have your heartbeats, your oxygen gets pumped through your veins, and the lymph that forms inside your veins gets pushed out, it gets cleaned. But if you don't rest, your adrenal glands don't have a chance to recharge and to work properly, and as a result of that, you're not functioning. You might feel like you're functioning optimally, but there'll be some knock-on effect that you maybe don't see. So my advice in that situation would be, if you feel like a high-functioning person that can limit yourself to 3 to 4 hours of sleep, maybe get a blood test and check, get factual evidence that your body is coping and that you're okay. And if it is, then do you. We're all built differently. There's no one model fits all for everybody. So if you can get by on 3 to 5 hours a night and you feel great and your body's okay, then utilize that time. Hell, maybe I'll give you 40 energy so that you can burn through it. But no, that's like, my advice would just be to check, because you might think you're okay, but the reality is you might be suffering in areas you can't see.
I suspect there's something else going on that you maybe don't consciously feel yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I always aim for 7 hours. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. As you get older, the body definitely settles. But I would say that 7 hours is really what you want to be aiming for. 7 hours is definitely what you want to be aiming for.
I agree with that, yeah.
Saito says, what if positivity doesn't work anymore?
What if positivity? Well, I don't think positivity is something that you just wake up and feel. I mean, I think that's why we went through this list of the process, of the mindset, of the choice. It's not about, waking up and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm positive now. I'm going to think positive." It has to be genuine. You have to create it. You have to build it. And and positivity isn't enough. Like we said, you can't just sit back and think positive. You have to then take it to the next step and take the actions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you. It's all well and good. If you lose your job and you think back and you think, "Oh well, it's okay. I'm going to find another job." But if you sit on your couch and you do nothing about it, well, that's not really going to help you. So yes, positivity is a very big part of it. It is part of the mindset. But then you take the next step and you move on to the action and the choice.
Positivity is an enabler. It enables action.
That's it. It enables action. And the action is where you will then find the solution eventually.
Yes. So it's not about, and here's the thing, if positivity is not working for you, the best advice I can give you is just be positive. Look, in the army, we always laughed at situations that we shouldn't. And I'll tell you very, very quickly. We had a friend who he lost limbs. He stood on an IED in a wartime situation and he lost limbs. And the first thing that was said to him was, "But you didn't like exercise anyway. What are you complaining about?" This was but that's the humor, the dark, squaddy humor. And sometimes humor is what gets you through a dark time. So if you're not feeling positive, maybe look for humor. Humor in the face of adversity, Fitzy, absolutely. Sometimes.
Maybe don't say those exact words to someone if you come across them.
Yeah. Obviously, if you walk past someone who's just lost their legs, don't just go. But you need rapport with that person. You need to know them. There has to be humor. But yeah, definitely humor. And I have humor with some of my friends that on any out of context social media channel would be seen as horrific. But that's how we have our friendships and our relationships. We have good banter. I mean, even me and Miss Shayla, we have our banter. As she said, I struggle to carry suitcases up the stairs, even though I try my best. You need humor, you need banter, you need these things in your life. Not bullying, banter. There's a difference.
Very big difference.
But big difference. So not the humor where you're taking the pee out of somebody and they don't enjoy it. It has to go both ways. But yeah, I would say that positivity is part of mindset, and your mindset is an enabler for the action, and it's the action that works. So the mindset doesn't work on its own. Knowledge is only potential power. Real power comes from action.
There you go. Can we have that as a quote? I love that one.
There we go. Knowledge is only potential power. Real power comes from action.
There we go.
Okay, we've got one more question, and then we're going to have to wrap this up, I'm afraid, chat. I'd love to stay here all day, but we do have to go.
Let's hear it.
What if your environment, the people you're surrounded by, are the reason why you're feeling anxious and depressed, but you're stuck in that situation with seemingly no way out? How do you deal? That's a great question, by the way.
That's a great question.
So if you're not in a position, let's say, as an example, let's say you're a minor or you're a child or you're someone who's underage and your parents are the cause of a lot of your depression and anxiety. And I'm not talking about rebellious, but I'm saying, what if you are in a bad home and you're stuck? Yeah. What things can you do to protect yourself in that environment?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I mean, for whoever asked this question, if you are in that situation, I'm very sorry to hear that. That sounds tough. The fact that you're asking the question makes me smile because it shows that you are looking for solutions actively, and that's great. If you are in a situation where the people around you are causing anxiety, I would try to think about what is the source of the anxiety? In what way are they causing anxiety? You know, are they making comments that are making you anxious, for example? I think what I'm trying to say is, whatever is happening around us, in a way, it goes back to choice. It goes back to how we choose to engage with people and how we choose to take in their comments. If I say to Steve right now, you know, that shirt you're wearing is really ugly, he can choose to get very upset by it, or he can choose to think, actually, this is a great shirt. So you don't really know what you're talking about. I'm going to choose not to believe you, because that is a beautiful shirt, Steve. That is a beautiful shirt. But my point is, if, you know, if the situation is being caused by people using their words around you that maybe are not the nicest. I know I've had chats with a few members that are experiencing some bullying in their school or their college situation. And in those situations, it's hard. It's hard when you have your peers, for example, that are saying things that are not very nice. But if you know something to be true in yourself, if you know that you have certain positive qualities and you are confident in them and you own them, then no matter what anyone says around you, if you know what they're saying is not true, you can choose to discard it. You can choose not to believe it, not to let it affect you. Now, I know this is very much easier said than done, but that is, to me, a step. Now, if it's something else, if it's with your family and there are situations that are causing you stress and anxiety, if it's possible for you to have an open discussion and communicate this to those people safely, then I would encourage you to do that. If it is not safe for you to discuss it with the people directly, if there's someone else that you trust that you could perhaps talk to, that know the situation, maybe they can help you navigate a way out of it or a way to control the anxiety in some way. So I think, you know, it depends very much about what exactly is going on. And if this is something that you want to talk about in more detail, please send me a DM and we can go into specific action when I have a bit more information. But this is just, you know, off the top of my head from a general situation. So I don't know exactly what's going on.
I think that makes absolute sense, and some very wise words there. And not only just the words, but also the tone of your voice. It's so kind, and I can feel the sincerity in what you're saying. And even though it's a difficult one to deal with, and it's a great question. I think the challenge is right now is, without more information, it's a hard one to answer, because you want to give the best advice you can, but without having more information, sometimes it's hard to give that advice.
It's hard to give that advice because I don't want to send you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to tell you to do or suggest that you do something that could then put you in an environment of even more anxiety because you may have triggered something. So I'm being very cautious on this one, but please, if you are going through something like this, send me a DM and we will talk through it.
Here's the difference between me and Ma'am Shayla. She's so beautiful and kind. I'm a bull in a china shop. So I will give you some bad advice and send you in the wrong direction. But I'm going to say it with love. I've been through that similar situation. I've been in environments that I was trapped in where they negatively impacted me. And this is what I would say to you. And without knowing more about the situation, there's a saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And what I mean by that specifically is that if somebody is not serving you right now in your life, if they're not aligned with your vision for your life, but you are trapped and not able to remove yourself from that situation, then treat your friends close, but your enemies closer. There's a book, a really good book. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's by a gentleman called Dale Carnegie. I recommend reading this book. One of the takeaways from this book is it teaches you how to create what is called a shit sandwich. And what that basically is that you would pay somebody a compliment. Miss Shayla, you look beautiful today. Would you be able to jump on a stream and talk to my audience for an hour? I'd be ever so grateful because you're so knowledgeable. Do you see how I started with a compliment? I then asked her to do the thing I wanted her to do, and I then ended with a compliment. The compliments are like the bread, and the shit's the bit in the middle, what you want them to do. So if somebody is not aligned with you, but you want them to move in a certain direction, make it seem like they're winning, they're in charge, they're in control, you're doing what they want. But always know in the back of your mind that you're building yourself up for bigger and better things. Because even though you're in a situation now, that doesn't mean you're always going to be in that situation. There will come a time where you either grow up or earn the money, or, you know, things will change where you will have the ability to move. So you need to choose your environment. This is all about choice. But until you're at a point where you can choose your environment, you can choose exactly like Miss Shayla said. How do you react to that environment you are in? That is a choice. Okay, and sometimes you just have to do the things you don't want to do in order to get to the place that you want to go. So I would say that always have that goal in mind of better things, of moving forward, of you know, what if it's better? What if it could be better? And just
remember Fitz's story,
yeah,
people.
Remember this is it. Remember Fitz's story. What if it could be better? And start to work smarter, not harder. So rather than fighting and rather than conflicting and rather than arguing, start agreeing. Even if you don't agree with the sake not for them to be right, but for the peace. Because sometimes operating from peace by doing things you don't want to do to allow yourself to move forward, sometimes you have to take one step back in order to take two steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know the situation, and exactly like Shayla said, it depends. That, you know, we need some more information on this, but any situation in life is temporary. Any situation, the good and the bad, it's all temporary. Okay, if things are going well, they'll go bad. I promise you. And if things are bad, they'll get better. I promise you. Like, it's life. It's like the markets. They go up and down. Okay, you just need to be willing to ride that wave, because that is what life is. Life is not about having no problems. If you have no problems, you're dead. Okay, life is just about being bigger than your problems, so that your problems are not problems, they're challenges. And it's about dealing with your challenges one step at a time, in a balanced way where you're strong and where you can deal with anything. That's the whole, I think, I don't know about from your perspective, Shayla, but that's what I'd like you to take away from today. Balance, you know, a new perspective, some tools, some things to help you in life, maybe.
Yes, exactly. And just remembering that, you know, every single day you can decide to change. You can just anything you don't like about your life, you can decide to change it and start taking action towards it. It's a new opportunity. Make the best of it.
Absolutely. Wow. Chat, what do we think? What do we think about today? Very different. I like what Fitzy just said. Fitzy to girlfriend. You look beautiful today, girlfriend. No. Lol. Oh, dear. Wow. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this.
Thank you so much for having me. It was, I mean, it was my first live stream. Steve, you had to do a little bit of convincing to get me out of my comfort zone to come on here. And I'm really, really glad that I did. I hope I hear from more of the members. I really enjoy hearing your stories and talking to you and working through stuff together. So please, you know where my DM is, you know where the chat forum is. Let's get moving.
So here's what I'd like you to do, chat. I mean, firstly, Shayla, I'd invite you to read the comments, especially at the end of this stream, just to go through and have a look. Positive energy. I love this stream. It's so healing. I definitely love this. This has been a wonderful live stream today. Thank you for your time and guidance. I hope there are more live streams that you can join us again. One of the best live streams that I've ever watched. There you go. All right. And I'm going to say this as well. You've been amazing today. And as your first, I'll call it beginner's luck, maybe. As as far as live streams go, this has definitely been a different one, but a great one and an important one.
Thank you. Are you going to tell everyone what you said to me, Steve?
What's
When
that?
you told me not to worry about coming on the live stream, because the worst thing that could happen was what?
Oh, I said you could probably destroy someone's life and it would go terribly wrong.
And that if I said something wrong, you know, someone could turn it into a meme and it would
Yeah.
live forever on the internet.
Yeah, I said imagine saying something wrong and then the community turned it into a meme and it was immortalized forever.
That's that's exactly what I needed to hear. So thank you so much.
Character building. We push each other in
Wonderful.
healthy ways. But we love each other and it's all good. So here's what I would like you to do, chat. Here's what I would like you to do right now. If you appreciate this stream, and if this stream's been a good one and you've really liked what you've heard, please pop over to the Discord. Go into the general chat. Let's not do this in the health and well-being because I want to keep that for health and well-being. Pop into the general chat. Give a little @ with Shayla, with her name, and just let her know what you think of today. Give her some feedback on today. Give her some of your thoughts because I know that she will love reading all of the comments.
I would. And be honest with your feedback,
Yeah,
guys.
be honest.
I'm not
If it's crap, Fitzy, don't hold
only
bars.
say good things. If you thought that I said something really, ridiculous or that it was awful or, I'm happy to hear all your feedback, not just good things.
That's it. There you go. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Steve, for having me. And I will see you guys on Discord very soon. I'll be there in the background.
See you in Discord very soon. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
Bye. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Right. We ran over a bit today. But I think you'll agree. It's been worth it. It's worth the extra time. It's such an important subject. Such an important topic to talk about. Such a beautiful human being. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. Remember, this is going to be a different stream. It's not the stream that we intended, but it's going to be another stream. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking to Andrew from Axie Infinity. So we're going to be having a whole conversation around Axie from one of the core team. And I'm going to be asking your questions. So again, if you have any questions that you would like to have heard out, I know it's going to be like 4 a.m. your time. It's going to be really, really early. So if you want to set an alarm, you can, but I do not expect you to turn in live. I get that. But today, wow, some absolute knowledge there. Look, this is information that we've learned over our lifetimes that we're sharing with you. Just take what works and leave what doesn't, okay? Do what works for you. This is not about giving up all of the things you love in life. This is about creating a healthy and a happy, balanced life so you can enjoy it more. That's all. That's all we're trying to do. So this was more about the health and well-being. Obviously, we'll go through the financial stuff like we did with Siam. We'll keep bringing in guests. We'll keep moving forward. We'll do more Coach Cody sessions on Wednesday. Okay, we'll do some more scholarships on Friday. Yeah, we'll keep going. So thank you for being here. Remember, people before profits, right? I'm going to leave you in peace. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Take care, and please reach out to us in Discord because we look forward to carrying on this conversation over there and in the health and well-being channel. Fitzy, team, everybody else, thank you all so much. I love you all. The community for all of your likes, shares, the stars as well for Bern, Kim, Francis, and Aldrin. Sorry I didn't get to read them out as they come through, but I did see them and I am grateful. Thank you all so much. We're going to be doing payday on Wednesday. We're going to be doing that. So we're going to do our Coach Cody stream on Wednesday. And then we're going to go straight into payroll straight after that. But we are not going to do payroll on stream because I want to protect the wallets and the addresses of the scholars. And I want to make sure that their identities are protected. So we will do a stream tomorrow with Andrew about Axie. We will be doing a stream on Wednesday with Coach Cody. We will then be doing payroll straight after the stream on Wednesday. And then we will be back on Friday for some more scholars. That's it. Have an amazing week, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see you in Discord. Take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.